I'm late. I'm having optic issues. My glasses are fogged up. My roadcaster's not on. Good job, Seb. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
The audio will get better, I promise. Give me 1 second here. Where are you guys?
In my office. So we have, the last time we were in the gym, which is across the parking lot here. We own 5 acres of old industrial. It's an old industrial complex where they used to run a trucking company out of. So there's like 5 buildings on this complex. Our gym, which is 12,000 square feet. That's what we were in last time. And then across the parking lot was like their main headquarters. So it's a 2-story building with a shop attached to the back of it. And we took over, Debbie and I took over the kind of offices upstairs. So you can't see it, but there's a big picture window here that looks down on the gym, the building and stuff. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, congratulations. That sounds good. That sounds like growth is good.
Yeah, man, growth is really good. Yeah, really positive.
Tell me about the shirt, expanding horizons.
Yeah, go.
So that is the program we run with kids who are on probation at the gym. It's grown drastically in the last few years, but it started out just with kids in our county being court ordered to CrossFit along with their probation officers. So they come over to the gym 4 days a week and work out. Yeah.
And I love how you say that, because whenever I tell that story, that's the part that always I just glom onto, the fact that they have to work out with their probation officers.
Yeah.
And a crazy success rate, right? In terms of success in outcome.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. If you go to, I think there's a tab on that website that talks about program success, and you can see kind of recidivism rates. You know, when we started this program, just history, one of our probation officers here in town, her name is Jen Contreras. She was a friend of ours. Her husband had taken a CrossFit class. This is 7 years ago. Taken a CrossFit class. One of their cousins was one of our members. He was military, still in the military. He's one of our members. So Jen came to us and said, "Hey, we have a young lady. She's now 21 or 22. That is our hardest nut to crack. She is 5'1", 5'2", maybe 200 plus pounds. She's on the verge of type 2 diabetic. And she comes with some serious trauma. And they had, previous to coming to CrossFit, they had done like a running club. They tried to take the kids running. The whole system, the whole court system, herself, Chief Probation Officer Angie Gale, who's still there, and the judge at the time, the juvenile judge at the time, knew that fitness was a component of both mental and physical health. They knew that these kids lack movement, and it's evident in the way they look, the way they drink and drugs and all of the things. So they tried a running club that just failed miserably. If you can think about taking kids that are 12, 13 through 18 in different continuums, and you take them out to a trail to run, you know, they literally would have kids diving off the trail into the woods to smoke while the other kids are running. And then they would come back and find them kind of walking after, you know, smoking cigarettes or smoking a joint. So they're like, listen, we need something different. They tried a fitness class across town. That the missing link with that group was community. The kids were isolated, on their own, treated as outcasts. And that's what these kids are always treated like, outcasts. So Jen was like, hey, she called me and she goes, would you work with this girl? I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, have her come into the gym. So she showed up with Angie Gale, who's the Chief Probation Officer, and Jen Contreras. We met at the gym on an off hour. No one was in there. And she walks in the gym. She's like this, just literally arms folded, pissed off at the world, didn't want to talk to anyone. So we walk around the gym, kind of show her different things. We talk about like what a workout consists of. We had wall balls in the workout that day. So I'm like, this is a movement that we're going to do. And I showed her what a wall ball looked like. Was having nothing of it. Like, she didn't even say her name. Like, that's how pissed off she was. So finally I'm like, all right, this isn't working. We walk back up into the front of the gym, and we're fortunate to have a ton of space. And we've got really
Tell
nice
me the
couches.
Tell me the name of the gym, Matt.
CrossFit Crave.
Okay.
CRAVE. We're 15
Okay.
years strong, going on 16, which is
Congrats.
as affiliate.
So she's got the fuck you arms up, and you walk her to the
Yeah.
front, and you push her out the front door and tell her to leave.
Get out. Like, don't come back. No. So we walked up to the front of the gym. We've got couches up there. So we just sat on the couches, all four of us. And I was talking to Angie and Jen about, they had never been in a CrossFit class. They didn't know what it was about. So we kind of talked about everything from the structure, how a coach runs a class, the community that surrounds the programming. I brought Greg up multiple times in the thought process of, why CrossFit was so successful. Obviously, the methodology and the movement was paramount, but the community that surrounds that was what kept people coming back, why they showed up every day. And she wasn't, the girl was off in who knows where she was at. She just wasn't paying attention. So I kind of focused back on her, and I said, her name's Mackenzie. I can give you that name because she's now an adult. And I'm like, Mackenzie, like, you're carrying a pretty heavy chip. And I knew a little bit of a background, but not a lot. And at that time, her mom had passed away from a drug overdose. Dad was in prison for drugs and sexual abuse on her, which we later found out, unfortunately.
And if those of you listening don't know Matt's history, we probably won't get into it today. But Shindeldecker can relate to all that. He has he's a paralleled past to this lady. And so it's not like he's some schmo who's in there with Mackenzie who can't relate. You're like, yep, I know what you're going through.
Yeah,
been there.
That's what I.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay, I just want to make sure people know. And if you haven't heard our previous podcast, you got to go back and listen. We've hit some out of the park with you too. Thank you. Okay, go on. So you're sitting on the couch.
Sitting on the couch, chilling, and I said, listen, I know you're carrying a pretty big chip, and life is tough, and it's tough for all of us. But I said, I don't know what you're going through, but let me tell you a little bit about me. I know your mom's passed away. I know dad's in prison. My mom went to prison when I was 11 for shooting a man, as I watched. And that's where she died. She died about a year prior to that, or right around that same time frame. So I said, you can carry that chip all you want to, but there's a better way. And maybe we can help you with that. And when I talked about my mom being in prison, and her arms just kind of collapsed. Like, she went from this guarded, I'm not going to talk to anyone, and her arms dropped. She leaned forward a little bit, and she's like, what was that wall ball thing you showed me? That was her first words. It wasn't an acknowledgement. It wasn't like, oh, wow, that sucks. Or, yeah, but my life's worse. Or it was literally, what was that wall ball thing? So I'm like, let's go back and take a look at it. So we walk back there, show it to her again. And I said, listen, we can help you get through a workout. We can help you, but you got to be willing to meet us. You got to meet us halfway. She's like, okay. And then she looked at Jen, her probation officer, and she's like, I guess I'll try it. And that, like, cocky, well, I guess I'll try it. It's not going to work, but I'll try it.
Yeah.
So we set her up it was right at the beginning of summer, and we had a 9 a.m. class. So we run 5, 6, 9. Now we run a 3 o'clock, 4:30, 5:30. And at that time we had a 6:30 class. So I'm like, listen, why don't you come to our 9 a.m. class? we'll set you up. It's a smaller class. There's a lot of teachers in it. It's summer. We'll just see how it goes. Right. So the very next day, man, she strolled in on her own at 9 a.m. That was the beginning of summer. So fast forward to the end of summer, we're getting ready to go back to school. She started because she felt so safe in the walls of the gym. All of the things that come with working out, losing weight, she started to lose weight. She started to move better. She started to feel healthy. But midway through summer, she felt so safe that she lived 1.25 miles from the building. She would, in the afternoon at 4:30, walk herself to the gym and sit, not work out, because she'd worked out at 9 a.m. She would sit in our doors and just watch the class, talk to her coaches, the coaches that worked with her, who were some of her teachers at school, because she felt safe. It was the only place, including her home in town, that she knew she wouldn't be abused, picked on, yelled at, had drugs dropped off on her doorstep. She knew she was safe in the gym, to the point where her probation officers, after the workout, she would communicate, hey, she would talk to her probation staff. This is what's going on at home. That's how they found out. She was placed with her grandparents, right? Who grandpa was sexually molesting her. They had no idea. So think about it. Mom had passed away because of a drug overdose. Dad was in prison for drugs and abuse. Grandfather was molesting her. Had no idea. And because of that trauma bond that she developed with our coaching staff, she was able to let her guard down a little bit and say, well, this is really what's happening. So
God,
she ended up.
Some people's lives are like nightmares.
Oh, dude, you have no idea.
A quick question.
Stuff that we've seen. Yeah.
Quick question. Someone wants to know if you guys normally sit like that in your day-to-day work. Is that your work area?
No.
My office is over there.
I stand. So this is an elevated desk. So I stand, and her office is over there.
I love it. These guys can't help. No matter what the guest is, they get trolled. They can't. Look at this. Look at this. Is Debbie Matt's caretaker? Listen to this.
Yeah, that's a full-time job in itself.
You guys are bearing your souls, and they can't help it but troll you. This is crazy. Sebby, turn your mic on. If my mic wasn't on, Caleb would have told me. You got. I think it's just not on for the beginning.
You're working on it, so I just let it go for a while.
But it's good now?
No, it's not on at all.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, that's really weird.
I thought you were.
Caleb, you got to stay on.
He can. Oh, maybe he can be on like that.
It works now. I just hate the way that it looks, but it's fine.
But it does work. No. Oh, you're right. I can't.
No, it's not. It's not.
How about now?
Did you pick the right one on your in StreamYard? No, I still can't hear you.
Yeah, I did pick the right one in StreamYard. Okay, hold on. Let's see. How about
Caleb,
now?
we tried to do that in StreamYard before we got on, so we wouldn't have to. Can you guys hear us okay?
Yeah, you sound great. How do I sound now?
There it is.
It's good? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
you're
thank
on.
you. Team effort. 13 minutes in, and I'm finally going. I was thinking to myself today, I was like, oh, I love having Matt and Debbie on. These shows are so easy. There's so much to talk about. That was client number 1, you told me?
Yeah, client number 1. Yeah. So
there are some things in that story that we take for granted that we can't take for granted. That she was lucky to have 2 people in her life who gave a shit. The people at Crave, I'll lump them up as one, and this Contreras lady.
Yeah,
because there, I mean, you have to, and this isn't to dig at other probation officers, but it's an exhausting job, and you keep hitting dead ends, and you keep having failures, and it's at some point you're just like, well, this one's just going to end up like this, and this person actually gave a shit. And that was client number 1 for this Expanding Horizons.
Yeah, client number 1. Yeah, so at the end of that summer, because of her success, Mary Pat Zitter, Judge Mary Pat Zitter, who was the juvenile judge at the time, and Jen and Angie Gale kind of sat down and said, okay, like, this is a different girl. This is not the same Mackenzie that started at the beginning of the summer. How do we how do we get more kids involved in this program? So they came to us and said, listen, we're going to start the school year. How many kids can you take?
What year is this?
like,
What year is this?
Oh gosh.
Like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking
Okay.
7.
So
yeah,
like
right at
2018, maybe 2017 or
Something
18.
like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're like, how do we get more kids involved, and how many kids can you take? So we're like, well, that's a great question. We can handle like 15 a class with one coach. You know, if we have any more than that, we'll put another coach in it. But you know, let's say 15. And they're like, great. We're going to work with Judge Zitter, and we're going to assign CrossFit as their probation regulation piece. So court-ordered CrossFit. And we're like, okay, that's awesome. Now, granted, there's two things. One, we were doing this out of the kindness of our heart. Like, we were just doing this free, let her come, we'll help her out, as a piece of giving back to our community.
What about the
that time.
concern of having delinquents overrun your gym? Like I'm going there
Yeah.
with my wife and my 2 kids, and you're bringing in these hood rats.
Yeah, that's where, because of our community, now you think about it, we're in rural Ohio. So we're in Salina, Ohio, population of maybe 11,000, right? We're in a farming community. The mean income here in Salina is what?
40,000.
42,000. So
Wow.
yeah, that's recent, right? Yeah. So there's our little community. Now, cool thing is, we set on the world's largest man-made lake, believe that or not, Grand Lake St. Mary's.
That lake right there is man-made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was made by the Army Corps of Engineers in the 1800s. You know,
Wow.
So we're in a very hardworking rural farm community, and our members will take anyone. Like it is. We've never had a member look at us and go, "Why do you have those kids in here?" And that's part of the reason why it's so successful. It's why all affiliate owners get into the business, right? It's in part because of the health they're developing, but it's the community that surrounds the box, and that's.
But a lot of people want to help, but they would rather just throw a $5 bill at a homeless guy than make eye contact with them. You know what I mean? And like put your arm around him and hug him and give him like an acknowledgement, a human acknowledgement. I think a lot of people say they want to help, but they don't want to be intimate with the with the struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. That's trauma. We'll touch on that later, but yeah, there's a lot of trauma that's involved there. So we told the court 15 people, but here's a catch. And we were looking at Angie Gale and Jen Contreras, and we're like, you have to work out with them. That's the only way this program's going forward. And they're like, no, that's okay. I'm like, no, that's it. Like, this program, you're not bringing the kids unless you're coming in the doors and working out with them.
Did you invent that on the fly? Did you invent that when you said that? Were you just like, oh, good idea? Like, did you hear it for the first time too? You're like, good idea, Matt.
But I think it was, I don't even know if it was like good idea. I think it was, this is expected from us.
But
like,
how did you know if this was your first client? How did you know that was going to be such a huge part?
Because
we didn't
at that time.
Yeah.
Right. But my expectation, and Debbie was the same. You can't expect these kids to work out and go through the suffering that happens in an hour, and you sit on the sidelines and watch. Like, that's right. Why would you let them do something that you're not willing to do? And reluctantly, you're like, oh, okay. All right. So they showed up on that Saturday to try one of our Saturday workouts, and fell in love with it. You know, so that school year, we started with 15 kids plus 3 probation officers in every class, and we're 7 years later, and they're still here. But so that through the school year is really where the school started making comments back to us about kids that were in truancy issues were starting to show up for school. Homework started getting done. Go ahead.
So because it's court ordered, there's accountability there. So we have kids, they have to go to school because that's court ordered. They have to come to CrossFit. That's court ordered. I mean, they're throwing up, but they're still coming to CrossFit because they don't want to get in trouble, right? Things like that. But what ends up happening is not only do they start to bond with the probation officers, they go back to school and they do the thing that every CrossFitter loves to do, complain about CrossFit, right? To the other probation or to the other kids, to the probation officers when they come to see them at school, and to their teachers. And it takes the kids like 0.5 seconds to figure out what teachers CrossFit.
Yeah.
And they're going to start talking to them about it. And so pretty soon we had teachers changing their class time so that they could come to the probation class with the kids.
Yeah.
And then the kids started to go into school and find their favorites. So one of our school resource officers has a fantastic relationship with the kids, and they started to invite him. And he didn't want to come, right? Who wants, let's go CrossFit with these guys. Let's go. But he couldn't say no, because when do they ever ask an adult to come along beside them to something good?
That's right. Yeah. So towards the end of that summer, or towards the end of that school year, we were only going to run the program through the school year and then give them the summers off. And that's the way they would do the run club. That's the way they would do everything before that. But the staff came to us about a week prior to school. The probation staff came to us and they're like, listen, we don't want to lose our fitness. We can't stop in the summer, or we got to do something. I'm like, okay, so why would they stop? Why would the kids stop? Why don't we just let the program run all summer? And they're like, great. Now, at the beginning of the school year, going back to the funding piece, we thought we were going to do this just free. Like, hey, we're going to create this class at 3:00 in the afternoon because it's right after school. We're going to throw a coach at it, myself, Debbie, whoever is available. We're going to put a coach in it, and we're going to run a class for them from 3 to 4. That's before our general members start. That way, we don't have a class of 30 people that we're trying to manage, right? Give them the attention they need. And we're like, so that's, we'll just create a class and go forward, no charge. And Angie Gale, the chief probation officer, says, well, hang on. You need to bill us for this. And we're like, what do you mean? She goes, well, there's grant money that's provided by the state through the county. It's called Reclaim. That is specifically for habilitation and rehabilitation of youth in the juvenile program or in the juvenile probation world. So she goes, tell us what your prices are. We're like, well, this is our general membership rate. And she's like, great, multiply that by 15 and send us a bill. We're like, okay. So we took our general member rate, multiplied by 15 spots because that's what they were taking up. And we sent them an invoice. And she's like, I need an invoice for every month that we're here. Let's do the full school year so I can send you a check every month. I'm like, okay. So that's what we did. And they paid it, which for us was like, holy smokes. Like, not only are we doing something good for our community, we're able to pay the bills because they're, sending us a monthly check. So when we got to the beginning of the next summer, they're like, we want to continue it. Like, okay. So we just left that class right where it was at. And we've run it 12 months out of the year since that time frame, even through COVID. Yep. They paid. We had online classes through COVID. We were only shut down about half of what we were supposed to be shut down, about maybe 6 or 7 of the 11 weeks that we had to shut down here. But we held an online class. Kids were at home with cans of soup and book bags doing workouts. And the state never stopped payment. Paid it all the way through, which is phenomenal that they did that.
Isn't it? How long was it? How long had the program been running before someone said, "Hey, bill us for it"?
So we piloted it for the summer with Mackenzie for free, and then when they came at the end of August that summer, then they wanted us to bill them.
Yeah. But and
so
when you say
beginning.
when you say you piloted it, you didn't pilot it as like M&Ms. Hey, we're going to release these new flavored M&Ms and then launch it. This is just strictly this wasn't a decision you made. This was just you're just like, yeah, we're capable of doing this and we're going to do it. This wasn't some business idea or, oh, I can't wait, we're going to have them on the hook. Wait till this is just like, hey, you know, those things in life that you do when you know, like, I mean, you see someone drop something in the supermarket and you run over and help them pick it up. You don't even know what you're doing. This is one of those things.
Right.
Yeah. It was completely organic. We wanted to help. We knew that we had one girl that needed a lot of help and we were willing to help her. The rest of it wasn't our idea, wasn't our plan, wasn't our thought process.
So you come to the it's just, I love the story because it's so much of what capitalism is about. And it's about coming to the table with something that can help other people.
Yeah.
You don't even have to do it with the intention of capitalism, but this is the thing. You're not taking anything from anyone. People are sitting around a table. You came up to the table. You had something to offer. It had so much value that people wanted more.
Yeah, that's it.
It's such a great life lesson. It's such an amazing lesson. And even if they would have never paid you, you guys would have this story for the rest of your life. And obviously, as we know from talking to you, Matt, you never thought that your trauma had probably had any value. You're like, why the fuck did I have to go through this? But now you have this story that probably has brought you nothing but pain your whole life. And now you saw, oh shit, my story now is giving fruit.
Yeah. And not only that, no one really knew my story. They knew my mom obviously went to prison. They knew she shot the bus driver. You know, up until like 4 years ago, nobody really knew in this community what really happened.
Were you surprised when you shared it with her on the couch that day? Were you surprised it came out of your mouth? Were you like, oh shit,
yeah,
what are you doing?
Shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, you know, that wasn't pre-planned. It was just like, all right, yeah, I get it. I know where you're at. And that was the first time, even internally, I probably looked at myself and said, yeah, that's you. That was you at her age.
Did the probation officer know that you had lost your mom?
So
they were probably like, what the fuck is Matt doing? Like, dude.
Yeah, she knew that, again, we come from a really small town. So the last name Shindeldecker is synonymous for one thing, and that's the crazy mom that shot the bus driver. Okay. Right. So they knew that piece. That's well known in this community. But for me to say that to her, both Angie and Jen were kind of like, uh-oh, where's this going? You know, we didn't expect that.
Yeah,
for sure.
God, what a great moment. And now the program is not just at CrossFit Crave. It's elsewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell me. I love this part.
Yeah.
A few years into it, our governor's office was doing an audit of Reclaim. So like Matt mentioned, Reclaim is what funds the juvenile or the Department of Youth Services. So probation, kids who are in facilities, parole, everything. And they were just doing an audit to make sure that they were being wise stewards of their money. Yep. And one of the guys who was the senior law director at that time heard about the program. He was actually a CrossFitter. He went to his affiliate and was talking to the owner and was like, wouldn't it be cool? And his owner knew us. And he's like, well, actually, there already is. So he called our probation staff, called Matt, ended up saying, hey, we want to come and see the program. I'm going to bring a whole bunch of people and we want to come and see the program. Yeah. So
get this, man. I'm sitting in my office. My phone rings from a 937 number. I don't recognize it. Normally I don't pick those numbers up. I answer. I'm like, hello. And he goes, hey, Matt, this is Andy Wilson. I'm the senior law director for Governor DeWine. We need to talk. And
that's the governor of Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah. Governor DeWine. Yeah. So Andy Wilson's the gentleman's name. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm going, oh crap. Like what? He goes, we need to talk about your juvenile probation program. And I'm like, we pass all the audits because we get audited every year. I'm like,
yeah,
God, we pay our taxes. Like,
What did we do?
What did we do wrong? Like, what happened? You know what I mean? And the next question was, listen, man, and Andy is the most fired up individual I have ever met. And he's a mile a minute. He's like, listen, man, do you know what your recidivism rate is? I didn't even know what recidivism was.
Right. I didn't know until the first interview I did with you.
Right. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what that represents.
We'll get those bugs cleaned out right away. No problem. We'll get it straight. Yeah.
That's right. He's like, well, it's the rate at which the kids reoffend. And they're monitored. Youth are monitored years 1, 2, and 3. Adults are monitored years 1, 3, and 5. And basically, any time the kid does something wrong and either is arrested or falls back into the court, that's recidivism. So that's a rate at which these kids get back into the court system. He's like, listen, national average and Ohio average is like 70 to 80%. So 78 or 80% of the time, when the kids are released from probation, they're free to go. They recidivate inside of that year 1, 2, or 3. So they're right back into the system.
Where they're breaking the law again. Something happens.
Right. New charges.
They're doing something, right? Your recidivism rate is 24%. It's the lowest that we've seen in the state of Ohio. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, which is something that we're trying to find programs. Governor DeWine said, listen, we've got this reclaim money out there. It's not working great. Look at our recidivism rates. Find programs that are outside of the box that are reaching these youth and helping them in their path once they're off of probation. And he goes, your program's it. We want to know more about it. I'm like, oh, okay, great. He goes, we want to come visit.
Mm-hmm. So October of 2021, I believe, Andy and 31 people from the State Department came to our tiny little town, to our gym. We invited anybody and everybody we knew. So we had Dale King came, like tons of affiliate owners that just heard by word of mouth came just to hear about the program. So Matt talked about it. Our probation officers discussed it. We also brought in Dr. Aaron Kuhn. So one of the things that we noticed during this time was not only are these kids most of the time where they're at because they have some kind of trauma that they have not dealt with. As adults, we have the same thing. Matt had yet to tell anyone at that point about what really happened behind the shooting. And then for us to help these kids, we needed further training. It's one thing to care, but it's another thing to be able to offer help in a situation with someone who has been abused or had any kind of trauma. So we had Aaron Kuhn work with us and we developed a trauma-informed coaches training. So he shared about that day as well. And of course, Andy spoke. And after a couple hours of sharing, at 3:00, our kids came in from school. We told them that they were going to be people there for them to work out with. They didn't quite expect 60 people, but that's what we had.
Yeah.
And so we did a massive team workout where these kids got to show off not just their camaraderie and their skills, but to stick around and tell of their accomplishments. Because this isn't Matt and I doing this. This isn't our coaches doing this. It's not the probation officers doing it. None of this would work if the kids didn't show up every day.
Yeah.
Not just physically. They're here
and have their stories, right? Their testimonials.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The cool thing about that is through that meeting, all 61 individuals in that gym worked out. Like all of them. They had suits and ties on, took their suits and ties off, changed into the workout clothes, and every last one of them worked out. Now, let's tie the CrossFit piece into this, which is for us, shocking, to be honest. Because of the success of the program, Jen Contreras, her husband, unbeknownst to us, sent a note to CrossFit HQ and said, hey, you guys got, I know there's a lot of negative press going on about CrossFit at that time. This was right around just shortly after, the whole great
sale, right?
Yeah. It was right after the sale, right at that time frame. He's like, I know there's a lot of negative press, man, but you've got to see what your affiliates are doing. And let me tell you about our affiliate here in town, what they're doing with our kids. So they started communicating, the probation staff started communicating with HQ. Then they came to us, the probation staff came to us and said, hey, check this out. We've been working with CrossFit. And, you know, Debbie and I are like, why? What are you doing? Like, well, we wanted to promote you guys. And they want to talk to you because they want to do this cool thing that Dave created, which is a free seminar for you guys. And he goes, they've selected you. They want to get this to you. Here's the contact individuals you want to reach out to, which was that time Michelle Moots. And we're floored. We're like, no way. Like, not us, you know, not in a million years would you think you would ever host an L1 plus a free one, you know, as a part of that program that Castro started. So we got a hold of Michelle and she's like, yeah, Michelle. Who else was it?
Oh, who came the first time?
Yeah, Larry
Thomas.
And I can't think their pictures are on that website that we had up there. So they showed up. They showed up the weekend prior to the games that year and gave all of our kids an L1 here at the gym, the scholarship L1.
Michelle Moots is great. I don't think I know Larry Thomas, but Michelle Moots had started an incredible program at HQ, a free program for overweight and old people. It was insane. It was a huge program that we ran at HQ that Greg launched. It was an incredible program.
Yep.
I want to ask Debbie a quick question before and then we'll continue here. Debbie, you talked about the training that you had that doctor come do. I worked in a home for disabled adults for 5 years, and periodically, every once in a while, we'd get someone with a master's degree in, you know, disabled adults. I don't know what it was called, and they would always fail. They would never last because it required more caring and then knowledge. Do you ever see that there is a piece your instructors who are successful in the program, that it has to be like, you want to talk to me about that difference maybe? Because I think a lot of people might not think they're qualified when, like, hey man, if you give a shit, like, you could succeed, you could really help people's lives.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm one of those people. I have my master's degree in special ed, and that's my background. But there's a difference between, I always say there's a difference between attending and participating. We don't want somebody who's just going to attend the class by standing there and pointing to the whiteboard and saying, this is what you're going to do. We want somebody who's going to participate, meaning you're going to develop relationships with these kids. It doesn't matter that they come from a dirty home. It doesn't matter that they've made a bad decision. They are not a bad kid. We live in the same community with these kids. My kids are currently 23, 21, and 16. The same age as these kids that we've had in the gym where my kids come the entire time, right? I know people in the gym who've made bad decisions, and there are people in the gym that I don't know the decisions they've made, but they've made bad ones. My job is to help everyone succeed. And if that's not what I'm there for, then I shouldn't show up at all.
And I think you nailed it right there. You're right. The staff that were most successful at my house, and we went through, a ton of staff, was relationships, as opposed to like treating them like a car that needs to be fixed.
That's right.
Right. And that's one of the things that whenever we explain the program to the state, they don't understand CrossFit. One of the things that we stole from Greg was we develop relationships around pull-ups and thrusters, right? The physical movement is great, but that's not the most important thing to us. These kids are here because they've cried out for help, and the wrong people have listened. And now they're crying out for help, and we want to show them who the right people are. And for these kids, for a lot of the kids, it's literally teaching them a different language, because mom and dad have been in prison or on probation, or maybe aren't even living. Same thing with grandparents. Like, that's all they've known. So for us to say as society, to say, hey, go get a job and be successful and do this and do that and do this, which you have never been taught, we're the ones who are unrealistic in our expectations. Right? We cannot help these kids unless we equip them. And that's what we're here to do. So around the physical, we develop the relationships with the kids. And with our trauma training, Aaron has helped us, and we work with Jim Hensel with Mayhem Mindset and a couple of other people to bring CrossFit to life. So we've learned that when you're finished with the workout, if you guys think about your classes, everybody gets done with the workout, they high five, and as they clean up and they hang out for 10 or 20 minutes, that's where the magic is. That's what keeps your athletes coming back, is the conversation they had with the person they worked out next to, right? And so we work to have organic but intentional conversations. So after a long chipper, we're going to talk about being resilient, because you want to quit when you're tired, when you're 25 minutes into a workout that's going to take you another 15 minutes. What do you do when you want to quit at a job, or you want to walk out of a classroom, right? So we teach things like self-advocacy. We teach things like, who are your safe people at school that you can go to for help? We teach things like, how do you fill out a job application? How do you show up for an interview? We have tons of members who are now ready to get rid of the 15-year-old CrossFit t-shirts, because they can give them to these kids, but also, hey, I've got a suit and you've got an interview. Let's help you.
Look, now look at some. This is the nicest thing anyone can say on the show. Clip that. Clip that. Debbie got me ready to run through a wall. Debbie smashed that. Wow. Holy cow. This is not, guys, are you guys feeling okay? Enough with the niceties. Come on, we know we only try. What are you guys doing?
Again, it's the kids, you guys. It is not us. We're just a tool.
So, insert. By the way, any gym can learn from this. This doesn't have to be kids who are going through hard times in their life. After the workout, as a coach, added value. Insert life lesson.
That's right. Yep.
During cleanup, insert life lesson. So good. So I want to go back to 2017. You have one. Strictly talking about the metrics and the size of the program. Can you give me just how it's grown, the real dry? So one client in 2017 on accident, just because you can. It's not even a client. It's just like, yeah, bring this girl in. We got something for her. Two, and bring me up to the present.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
15, and then we know it turned into 15, a full class.
Yeah.
Yep.
So after that meeting where the state and CrossFit came, they sent a couple of people from HQ to check it out. Everybody kind of realized how scalable this is.
Yeah.
You own a gym. You have people in your gym who need CrossFit, who don't think CrossFit's for them. Let's find a way to get them in. In this case, the population is kids who are on probation. So through some hurdles, which we're going to skip, now what we do is we help gyms across the U.S. start programs like this.
Across the United States.
Yeah.
I think we have one or two.
Last time I talked to you, you guys were pretty much focused on Ohio. Not for any particular reason, but that's just where it was growing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. In the state, after that meeting, the state come and said, okay, there's 88 counties in Ohio. We have one program, right? We need 87 more programs. Can you help us grow that? In the big piece of that is, yes, we can help. You got to find willing participants, meaning you got to find willing kids. You got to find probation staff that is willing to take their kids to a gym. And then you got to find an affiliate owner that has a heart that says, hey, I'm here for my community, regardless of what that community looks like when they walk in the doors. Because you're dealing with the toughest of the tough when it comes to these kids when they come in. So it's not an easy process. One thing the state did to help the funding piece is Director Ast stepped in. She's the director of DYS. She stepped in and said, listen, let me take the funding problem away from the counties. We're going to earmark every fiscal year $20,000 per county strictly for CrossFit. So if you have a judge that's willing to say, yes, I'll do this program, you've got an affiliate that raises their hand and says, hey, I want a part of it. How can I help my community? She'll earmark that money so that funding is in place. So we started working with affiliates in Ohio. And that's how that kind of started 3 years ago or so.
Right. Right. So every state has money set aside. The terminology is different. And the way to get to it's a little bit different. So that's one of the things that we do is with our team is we try to help do the investigative work, and we try to, it's a no-brainer. Like if you've heard the stories of the kids, if you've seen the statistics, Elizabeth, one of our girls, she just updated the website today. If you see that, it's a no-brainer to start, right? And unfortunately, probation will always be here. So the state will always have funding for it, right? That's a kind of a fortunate. So yeah, right there. So what we do is we help do the legwork with this, and answer all the questions, try to remove all the barriers for entry for both the government and for the kids.
Yeah, to make that easy. So
I just want to put this in context, people. There are 3,144 counties in the United States. If every county allocated just $20,000, we're at $62,880,000. That's $62,880,000. I just saw that Doge found a building yesterday that the government was leasing at $57 million a year, and there's not one single employee in it except the employees running the cafeteria for the people that are supposed to be in there. Get your head fucking wrapped around it. Now, I dare anyone to think that's how easy it would be to come up with the money for all of the counties in the United States. I dare anyone to come up with any program anywhere in the world that would help kids more than a CrossFit program like this. Anything, a fucking math program, a PhD like anything. This is just imagine if this was accessible to every kid in every county in the United States, and we're only at $63 million. It's nuts. Okay, I just want to put that in context of how there's an abundance of resources. If this country has a huge pile of money that could have a dramatic impact on the world.
Yeah, but since you're on the math topic, think about this. If one of the kids that are on probation, meaning they're in the county still, they've not done a crime that's as bad as going to prison, right? So they're still in the county. Once that individual goes into the system, meaning they're in one of the 3 levels of correctional facilities, there's the highest maximum level, they call it level 3, level 4, maximum prisons in the state. And then there's a step down, which is like a community service. So if you're in the maximum state prison for the juveniles, you're 2.5 years or greater. That's the average. Then you go to what's called a community correctional facility, which is like 6 months to a year. And then you have JDCs, juvenile detention centers, which that's like a weekend away. Hey, I'm gonna send you away for a weekend or a week or 30 days maybe. The lowest level, that JDC, that bill for that child back to the county, to the state, is $100 a day for them to go in and sleep overnight there. When they get to the maximum facilities, the DYS facilities, that's in the $300 a day for each kid that is incarcerated. So to your math problem, spending $100 or $150 a month for a membership a month is way cheaper than taking a kid and putting them into the system.
The average cost to keep a child in juvenile hall for a year is around $214,000 a year. We're not even talking $20,000 per child. We're talking $20,000 for a program, a startup program.
Right.
That's right.
Think it, God. I guess you can't spend so much time thinking about this, or else you'll go drive yourself crazy. But you have the solution so obvious,
Yeah.
and you don't even need a 24% recidivism rate. You even if it was 9, even if you could just save one kid, the money would be
That's
made
right.
back. Just one.
Right.
Just one.
Right.
Yeah.
And regardless if it's a kid who's in a detention center or a kid who's on probation, they're coming back to your community.
Yeah.
Like these kids don't typically go to college and move to a big city. They're coming back to your community. So you want not just the money to stay local, but you want that success to stay local. Whether they're coming back or when they're coming back, you don't want them to be back in the county jail, back costing taxpayers more money. You want them coming out and being able to find a job.
Yeah.
So you're investing. Yeah, your gym is going to make money and keep the lights on, and that's fantastic. We have to be able to do that. But we're concerned about what happens then. Mackenzie's now 21, 22 years old. She's working full-time. She's married. He's working full-time. They have 2 children together that they're parenting.
Wow.
Do you hear me? They're raising
Wow.
their kids.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And their mom and dad, Mackenzie and her husband, are both clean and sober.
Did he go through the
That's
program too?
what matters. He did not come
not.
through the program, but she learned
So
a
she
sense
got
of
a
value
normie.
and
She got a normie.
self.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
How many
We
counties
take
now
it-
in the U.S., Debbie? I mean, in the U.S.
That- I don't know how many counties for sure in the U.S. that we have. Our
Oh, that's a
goal
good.
when
That's
we
a good
build
problem.
county-
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Our goal when we get a county up and running is to provide ongoing support. So we have monthly calls with all of our affiliates to help with those conversations, to help with audits, to help with just ideas of how to improve. But not everybody latches on to that. So we don't have exact numbers on there.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, the buy-in in Ohio, because of it coming from the top, is phenomenal. When you have the buy-in, the solution comes from the bottom up. The money has to come from the top down.
Yeah.
Right. And so not only has our director said, hey, we're going to set aside money for the counties, she's set aside money. She came to us and said, hey, what about the kids who they're already incarcerated? What about the kids who are in the juvenile correctional facilities? So 2.5 years ago, we opened our first affiliate inside of Cuyahoga Hills. And Chrissy was on the podcast at one point. Chrissy Ampoletti, shout out to her. She is our GM at Cuyahoga Hills, which is the first juvenile correctional facility to have a CrossFit affiliate inside.
Yeah.
So their name is CrossFit DYS Wolfpack.
You can find them. You can actually find them on the CrossFit website. You can find all of them, all 3 of them. The 4th one's not on there yet, but you can find all 3 of them. You can't drop in though. Well, you could drop in, but you're going to stay a while.
Yeah. Hey, they have adults in their facility, right? Or just kids?
Just kids.
Just kids.
Okay, just kids. Okay.
Just kids.
And is this the only one that's in a juvenile facility?
No. So Cuyahoga Hills is where we started. Yep.
I was
We
not
also
to be
have
able to spell
one
that.
at Indian River Juvenile Correctional Facility, Circleville Juvenile Correctional Facility. So those are the 3 long-term facilities in the state of Ohio that Matt talked about for the most severe offenders, if you will. The next level down are the community correctional facilities where kids go for 6 months to a year. And we just started our first one there last month. Again, we get the funding figured out because every place is a little bit different logistically.
Yeah.
So the state picked one in Wood County, Ohio, and set that one up to kind of format for the other 10. We just haven't started them yet.
Caleb, while you're looking, if you Google or if you go onto YouTube and go look for a DYS, Ohio DYS CrossFit competition, there's a video that the state of Ohio put together. We did the first ever competition amongst the 3 buildings. So they picked one location. They bussed kids from the other 2 locations and brought them into one. Let that play. I know it's long, but man, if you can hear it, let it play and listen to what they have to say. It's really good.
Even when there's no hopes.
And there's a little battle for who's bringing home that massive trophy over there.
Doing this little CrossFit competition against all 3 facilities. No, we trying to win. We trying to get the trophy. We ain't got no trophy.
Oh,
Why CrossFit?
awesome.
Because CrossFit worked for me. It gave me belonging. It gave me confidence. It gave me a sense of value. It helped me lead myself and my family better.
Pause a second.
I-
So those are all
What?
kids. Those kids don't sleep at home in their own beds.
Those kids are in prison, and that the average stay for those young men there is 2.5 years. So most of those boys that you see there will be there well into their adult. A kid in prison will stay in a juvenile prison, depending on conviction time, until they're 21. And at the age of 21, if they're released, they could be released at 21, depending on their sentence, or they're transferred into the adult system at the age of 21. So some of these kids will get out maybe in the next 6 months to a year, or they'll be there until they age out into the adult system at some point.
If you're in this program, guys, and you get out of this program, do you get to go immediately to, okay, tell me what happens.
So one of the things our state recognizes is the longevity of the success. And so they were.
You can play this, Caleb, in the background, by the way. Just turn the volume off. Go ahead. Sorry, Debbie.
No, they were adamant that this can't stop when a kid is released. Just like when a kid here is released from probation, we don't want them to stop coming to the gym. And so part of what we do in our team is a couple of months, ideally, sometimes it's 30 days or 2 weeks before a kid gets released, the facility will contact us and say, hey, so-and-so is getting released. This is the release date. This is the parole officer. This is where he's going to live. So then our job is to connect with the parole officer. We get his address. We find the nearest CrossFit facility that has heart. We vet them. We get them trauma trained and do everything that we do. And then the state will pay for that youth's membership at least for 3 months, as long as the youth goes twice a week. So when they're released on parole, which is what the kids from the big facilities get released on, not probation, they're on parole, they don't have court-ordered requirements like probation. So it's your option to go. The state will help provide transportation if they need a bus pass or the parole officer needs to take them or whatever we need to do there. And then it's up to them to go twice a week. So one of the things, because of the rapport, once a kid is released, I'm allowed to get their contact information and have contact. Keep it vague. They still don't know my last name. We still have safety precautions in place. But to keep them connected. This morning, I'm working out at 5 a.m. I'm not kidding you. I'm working out at 5 a.m. I look down at my phone and I have a text message from one of our kids who got dismissed a couple weeks ago, but he was telling me how his move went because he moved from one placement to another yesterday.
Mm-hmm. A placement
So
in terms of juvenile facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they?
He got out of the juvenile facility 2 weeks ago when they put him in like a group home. And yesterday they moved him to a nicer group home. So this morning at 5:30, he's like, hey, this place is much nicer. It's bigger than my last place, things like that.
Yeah.
So there's a relationship.
5 a.m.
Yeah, at 5 a.m. Here's the thing that it falls kind of death on some people. If you looked at those videos that Caleb just previewed there, you've got all walks of life in the same gym working out. Blacks, whites, Hispanics. Most of those kids are gang members that you see in there. Inside of the prison, they're still affiliated with whatever gang that they came out of when they went into the system. And they're working out in the same room with no violence towards each other. We were in Cuyahoga Hills. This is probably maybe a year, 6 months ago. And there was a gentleman that came in, a staff employee came in and just watched. We've never seen him before. He watched one of the classes. And then he walks us out and he's walking with us to get out of the facility. So we get in the elevator and I introduce myself and ask him, hey, what's your name and what's your occupation here? And he's like, yeah, you don't want to see me. I'm like, okay. I said, why is that? And he goes, well, I'm the state gang violence investigator. And I'm like, okay. So his main role in life is to investigate violent crimes amongst gang members.
In facilities.
In facilities. And he says, I just had to see it for myself. I'm like, see what? He goes, how a class with separate gang members can happen inside of the same room and there be no violence. He goes, I had to see it myself. I didn't believe it.
That's awesome.
And that's what falls kind of death on most people. They don't realize that. And then you've got these kids working out and high-fiving each other or putting their arm around someone and helping them run the last lap as they try to finish the competition. Like, the staff members sit back and go, what is happening? Like, this doesn't happen. That's the cool part about it.
Debbie, has this been nonstop growth since 2017? The program?
Yes. No sleep, gray hair, all the things because of all the growth, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Congratulations.
We have the most incredible staff. And one of the things that's helping with inside the facilities is we're trying to increase the data collection. So when we started with Mackenzie, we're like, hey, come on in. CrossFit works for us. Let it work for you. We are not great at planning at all. That's why we're like, oh yeah, it's free. Come on in.
Well, if you would have been great at planning, you would have never taken the first client. You would have been like, yeah. So
exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. So one of the things that we've recognized is there are ways that we can increase our data tracking. We want the kids while they're inside to be able to keep track of their PRs, keep track of the weight that they're gaining and losing, things like that we love to do. They don't have the capability to do that with an app or anything like that. The other thing that we want to do with the state is look at things like sleep. How does CrossFit affect their sleep? How does it affect their stress? Because remember those conversations about longevity, stress and trauma still happens while they're in the facilities. So what's the difference between a kid who's participating in the program and a kid who's not? So we're working with the state and we're working with Metfix, and they've developed an app for us so that we can track this. So our staff goes in with a laptop or an iPad, and the kids come in and they check in. They click the button that they're there for attendance. And then one of the things they do is we have a rating scale of how you're feeling today. Great. I'm super excited. I'm okay. Or like, I'm ready to, punch somebody, whatever. And we do that before the workout and we do that after the workout.
Mm.
That right there is the golden discussion of what does movement and community do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And because of the way that we have it formatted with HIPAA and everything like that, that data then will follow that kid. So when Johnny gets out and we incorporate him to CrossFit Crave back home, he has access. He can take all of that stuff with him to keep track of his success.
Is that data mostly because we know it works? CrossFit helps every single metric. Is that mostly so that you can show other people, maybe people who haven't bought in, people?
Yes, and the state needs it so that they can justify the money they're spending, right, for their accountability. And any state, like it or not, at the end of the day, a politician needs bragging rights to continue to stay in politics.
Right.
And so if they can use this as bragging rights, they're going to. But the state of Ohio is working with Google because Google bought Fitbit, and they're trying to develop a correctional grade Fitbit that will track sleep and heart rate and things like that.
Have you run into this? One of our mutual friends has worked with the Air Force a lot, has worked with firefighters a lot, has worked with police departments a lot. And no matter how successful the program is, every time the leadership changes, you have to be like, oh shit, what's going to happen? Because life never, they tell you when you leave high school, life's not going to be a popularity contest, but it only becomes more of a popularity contest. Do you ever get concerned that a program's running really well and then someone switches and they're like, okay, we're now going to do paper mache building with them instead of this CrossFit thing because my mother-in-law could use the $20,000 a month?
Right.
That's where data comes into play. Data and longevity in the system, because everyone can have a great paper mache program, but without the data, they can't prove it. And most state funding is only available if there's historic data that says, yeah, it works. So it's all what they call evidence-based. It's got to be an evidence-based program. And, we're fortunate enough to have 7 years of evidence that shows here's where recidivism rates are. And that data is just growing, from there. We laughed when Greg and Emily come to us originally with, hey, how can we help your program? We're like, listen, we're on a shoestring budget. Like we can't develop an app. We have no idea how to do that. And Coach Glassman was like, I got you. Don't worry about it. We'll develop it for you. And that was, to us, just blew us away, like, okay, let's go. So we're fortunate to have that.
How many kids do you think have been through the program? Totally, the one that's in gyms and the ones that's in juvenile halls?
At this point, there's several hundred at a minimum.
Yeah, I would say closer to 1,000, maybe 1,200 altogether.
So you give one, you give one away. You do one just because, which ends up being fortuitous because, like you were saying, you can't even get your foot in the system unless you have data, and so you don't have any data. But you get one in the system because someone, takes that leap of faith or just crosses paths with you. You weren't even pitching it, and now it's at 1,200. I don't think people understand in life how many things come by doing other things for free. Like even my 10-year-old boy, I'll be making a video and he'll be like, "How are you going to make money off of this?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I don't actually think about that."
Right.
You have to you find your passion and you just start doing stuff, and then sometimes a fire starts around you.
Well, if you think about the program started with the juveniles. We started talking with the adult system. Andy Wilson, who is the gentleman that contacted me first, if you Google him, he's now the director of public safety for the state of Ohio. So Andy, because of that position change, knowing what the program has done, came to us and said, "Hey, we want to work with one of our departments, the State Highway Patrol, the first responders." There's Andy. First responders in the state of Ohio, the highest death rate out of first responders is suicide. The isolation and all of the negativity that's happened is killing our first responders. And he's like, we need to bring the brother and sisterhood back. Your program is successful in working with these kids. Can you come into the academy, the State Highway Patrol Academy? I want them to do Murph, and they don't do pull-ups. He's like, "Can you help?" So 3 years ago, we started working with the State Highway Patrol, training them in the methodology of CrossFit, how to work with pull-ups, how to move the body properly. We started doing Murph with them. The first year, highly successful. We had off-duty officers come in. The State Highway Patrol Academy did it. We held it at Rogue. Katie and Bill let us come in and do the workout there. It was phenomenal. We had a great program. So Andy, and again, Savon, this goes back to what you said. Once you start something, if you stop trying and let the system work, Andy comes back after that and says, "Listen, that was great, but we need something bigger. We need to involve all of the first responders in the state of Ohio. How do we do that?" Debbie's like, "Why don't we do something around 9/11? Like everyone wants to honor those that fell during 9/11. So why don't we do the 9/11 climb is what we call it now." So 3 years ago, the state of Ohio, the governor's office sent an email to every first responder office in the state that said, "Hey, we're organizing the 9/11 climb. We want you to participate. Click on this link to find the local CrossFit affiliate in your area and talk to them about coming in and doing the climb in their gym." This was sent out by the state of Ohio to every first responder office in the state. So what started with one girl 7 years ago, that was a juvenile, has now involved the state on a much bigger scale, saying, "Hey, what about first responders? How do we improve the health and wellness of those first responders in our state?" Which is huge.
I wonder how many CrossFit affiliates are in Ohio. Do you have any idea on that number?
A couple of years ago, there was 169. I don't know what that was in 2023.
Dude, they should all send you a thank you letter. What a crazy sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you, Debbie, but they really should send you a thank you letter. What a crazy to have someone speak to the base. I know some people are confused, but there's a base, and to have someone send an email that addresses the entire base in one fall what's the word? Fall and sweep. Anyway, one fell swoop.
Yeah.
Thank you, Caleb. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's
We
pretty,
thought it was wild too.
Yeah, especially from someone who's not trying to sell you anything. You know, you speak to the entire base from CrossFit, or you know what I mean, the mothership, and it's like, oh, they're trying to sell something. But to have a non-participant, that's pretty wild, man. That's pretty wild. That's a crazy accomplishment in itself.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Souza. I know Matt's not on, but from that success of putting that together, would be the director of health and wellness initiatives for the state, was like, hey, we love what you're doing. Do you have programs for first responders that they can do in their firehouse, in their police station, that will help these officers, men and women both? So we get a hold of Matt Souza because he's got, you know, the program, the first responder program that he's run so successfully. And we're like,
if you
hey,
call,
Matt,
if you call Matt 5 times in a week, 3 times during the week, he's driving to a firehouse somewhere or a police station.
Oh yeah.
He's so busy with firefighters. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're like, Matt, like, help us, brother. You started this program. The state of Ohio is interested in doing something here. They're going to try to pull funding together for it, but they need a program they can pilot. So we flew Matt out and sat down with the state, 6 or 7 people from the state office, and laid out the first responder program. I know that Port Clinton, CrossFit Port Clinton, is doing it now, and very, very successful with it. And we're going to try to head it up from the state level, so affiliates can involve themselves with their local responder office with a program that works.
So it's the same thing as far as starting with a pilot to develop the data that the state can't deny.
Yeah.
Right. And so once we do the pilot, and the State Department can take that back and say, hey, this is what we need funding for. Here's the progress that we've made. The state can't deny that.
Yeah. And the elegance of the program that Souza put together is, like, he speaks so well too when he's in front of that group. You
He did the 5 buckets of death, which is just a brilliant talk. He says he just ripped it just straight off of Greg, practiced it, delivered it. It's a great presentation, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, he delivered that to the state. I mean, that's literally how we kicked off that meeting with the 5 buckets of death.
Do you guys ever go ahead? Sorry, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead. I won't forget. Go ahead.
You have to attack it from both ends. You know, from an affiliate perspective, from the grassroots, you've got to start it there. But if you don't ever talk to the top where the money's at, you'll never get anywhere. And you have to approach it from both sides. And that's slowly, humbly, that's what we're trying to do.
Debbie, something I don't sense from you, which I'm surprised, is you don't seem guarded around. I sense it from both of you. You don't seem guarded around the opportunities that your work has created, your program has created. So it seems like you're willing. You don't seem afraid that someone's going to come in and steal it from you. Like, you're like, okay, we can get help here. We can get help here. Sure, Souza, come here. Okay, do this here. Okay, we can help other affiliates. I keep hearing you say we can help other affiliates get this off the ground. What's the deal with that? Why don't you feel, oh, this is our program, we found a gem, we can get rich?
That's not what.
Because you deserve to get rich.
If CrossFit was meant to be selfish and not to be shared, then why would we open a gym? I would have it in my garage with the garage door closed.
Yeah. And never share it with anyone.
But you put in all this. You put in all this work to develop, to opening the doors. Opening the doors is really, really hard, right? It was with one. Most people have been like, "Fuck that! I'm not starting with one. Bare minimum, I'm gonna start with this 15 kids." You don't feel a little bit like this is my baby, or is any part of you like, "I dare you to try this? This shit's so much work, you'll die."
It's Matt said earlier. He said this. It's not easy. It's a simple thing. It's just time. It takes a long time to do. And that's where people get lost. It's a great idea. Go call your probation department. Go call your fire chief. Start it. It's not that easy. So if you want to do it on your own, great. Have at it. And you're going to help people. Great. If you don't have the right heart, it's going to fizzle its way out anyways. But what we want to do is help go through all of the steps. So simple things like you have the one probation officer who's digging in his heels saying, we've never done anything like this. I've been doing this job for 500 years. We're not going to do anything new, whatever. I've been there. I've done that. Let me take that conversation. Let me take that burden from you, and help convince him without him getting defensive of why he needs to support this and why it's going to help him.
It kind of reminds me of, that's Chris Cooper's, tagline. Like, hey man, you can do this on your own. I failed so many times. I've been surrounded by people who failed. We have the list of pitfalls here. Come sign up, do this protocol, and 90% of the people who sign up for Two Brain have increased revenue within a year. And that's what you're basically saying. You're saying, I know you want to get this program off the ground. You have all the skills to teach these kids. Let me help you run through the political machinery, all the crazy hoops. And it's not just filling out paperwork. It's a lot of one-on-one of people like that gang guy Matt was talking about, being like, hey, you're never going to get 2 gangs in a room, let alone 5.
Right.
That's
Especially, you're dealing with government timing and government funding. So, and that's something that we didn't understand coming into this. I had never worked with anything with the government like that. So we've been educated a lot along the way. Some counties, you're going to be able to start a program in 2 to 3 months from start to them walking through the door. Some areas, it's a little bit harder. We have a county in Colorado. We now say that we've been dating the guy for like 4 years, because every month we have an ongoing phone call with him to talk about the progress of it. And everybody wants to do it. It's just everybody's afraid of pulling that trigger.
God, the barrier to entry is so low. The cost is so low.
Go ahead.
We're trying to, the cost of entry, and that's, even though it's low, you still have a lot of pushback from affiliates, from states going, we're not going to spend that money that way. We're going to redirect it over here. We're trying to work on that cost piece. I know, 6 months ago or so, Homeland Security, a gentleman by the name of Jordan Garza, from Homeland Security, sent an email to Debbie and said, hey, I've been doing some research on your program. It's phenomenal. We've done 2 years worth of data on it. We want to sit down and talk to you guys. We want to invite you to Wood County Juvenile Correctional Facility or Community Correctional Facility, because we want to help you start a program with them. This is Homeland Security saying that, unbeknownst to us. So we go in and sit down, and he's like, great, we have this great meeting. The program starts 3 months ago. The program director there at Wood County CCF was like, this is the best program we've ever had. Like, why did we wait this long? So Homeland Security comes back to us and says, listen, we want to help fund this type of program, not just in the state of Ohio, but we want to try to go nationwide with it. There's grants, federal grants.
Security issue. I never even thought of it. It is a national security issue to have all these delinquent kids on the street. Wow.
It is. It falls into their tertiary treatment. It falls into their recidivism rates for prevention of, and get this, of crime or violence or terrorism. They see terrorism not as the international terrorism in the homeland, terrorism in the community. So like, why not take a program that's directly affecting recidivism and do that as in many places across the nation as we can? So I've never done a grant ever in my life. I'm not educated for that. I'm not educated at all, as a matter of fact. But so Jordan's like, listen, we have this grant. We're going to release the grant money again this year, probably sometime in the middle of the first quarter. You should apply for a grant. So I'm trying to build a grant, never done that before, to obtain federal money that then when we work with programs outside of the state of Ohio, we can tackle the funding for them. When they say, well, we don't have that in our budget, great, we've got the funding for it. Let us at least start it. Let's get it off the ground by giving the affiliate and the county funding in order to do so.
Right. So to do that, this is federal money, but because of the way it's worded, you have to be a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So that's where the issue has been is, hey, Dale.
Dale King, Caleb's hoodie's a threat to national security. I agree. Every one of his hoodies is a threat to something. His hoodie, he's got the
I
offensive.
can't make
hoodie.
anybody happy, dude. I wear a Subaru hoodie. Like, what the fuck you
You
wearing
look like
that
you're
for?
about
I
to
wear-
attack a polar bear in a snowstorm.
That's right.
Okay, sorry, Debbie. Go on. Dale, stop interrupting the show, Mr. King.
So Matt formed a nonprofit now, because what we have is Expanding Horizons. We are not a nonprofit. Matt formed a nonprofit so that he can apply for this grant to be able to fund. So if you're a gym in Texas and you're like, hey, I want to start an Expanding Horizons program, help me. We can help you. And if the county doesn't have the money, for example, if it's in the middle of the fiscal year and the budget is already taken care of, we can get that money from the nonprofit grant then to fund that.
Mhm.
So that's what.
So you can be the umbrella company, so they don't have to worry about setting up a nonprofit or all the political what's the word, machinations, the bullshit.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, what if someone I don't and if you don't want this, let me know. But what if someone who's listening to the show right now is like, man, I'm a professional grant writer. I could help these guys. I could write this grant. I could volunteer my time and write this grant in 20 minutes for them.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt at CrossFitCrave.com. That's my email.
Copy
Matt
me, because he'll never get it back to you.
or Debbie at CrossFitCrave.com. Because I need.
And it's Debbie, DEBBIE at CrossFit Crave, CRAVE.
.com.
.com.
What, Sevi, if this is an indication of the workload or the level of stress that is then placed on Debbie and I, this will tell you. Christmas Eve, I had a heart attack.
This Christmas Eve?
Uh-huh.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I want
So
to ask? Did you get the injection?
Nope.
All right. Good.
I don't have a history of heart disease. I don't have high cholesterol. I don't have any of that. Now, my ACE score is 9 out of 10. So ACEs is adverse child experiences, right? So think about all the trauma and all the bad stuff that people see. High ACE scores.
10, buddy. I think they scored you wrong. I'm going to give you a 10.
It's like a 12 out of 10 on that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, 10.
because of that, I think is a part and partial why I had a heart attack. But I literally Christmas Eve at 6:10 p.m. the old ticker stopped, and for 3 minutes they did chest compressions to try to get me going. Hit me twice with a defibrillator to wake my heart back up, and that experience is a conversation we can have at some point. But it was unlike anything that I've ever experienced, nor ever want to experience again.
Can you tell me a little bit what happened? How did it? So basically, for 3 minutes, you were dead.
Yeah. I was.
Where were you when
vacation.
it happened?
Lubbock, Texas. So I was in Lubbock, Texas. I went down with my daughter, son-in-law, and 3 grandbabies just to get out of the state of Ohio, just to go somewhere and relax a little bit. So I went to Christmas Eve. I went to CrossFit Throne. John Wooden, the owner there, allowed me to go in on my own. Great guy, phenomenal place. I was in the middle of a workout trying to finish 25 wall balls, and I just couldn't catch my breath. I'm like, what is going on? And clear across my chest, a pain like I have never experienced before, like a crushing pain. I kept hitting my chest. I didn't know what to do. I'm walking over to the box because we're supposed to do box jumps next. I'm literally going over the box, and I just hit my knees, and I'm like, something's not right. So I didn't want to call my daughter and freak them out. I had the only vehicle because we got a rental car. So I'm like, I can't call Taylor because it'll scare her to death. So I called Debbie, and I put her on FaceTime, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't feel well. Something major is wrong. And, going through all the trauma that we've gone through and I've been through, her instant reaction is listen, let's box breathe. Let's do some deep breathing. Let's box breathe. Let's kind of calm yourself down. Let's walk outside, get some fresh air. I'm sweating profusely. And, after about 3 minutes or so, maybe 5, it just wasn't going away. And I started shaking my hands because I got to the point where I couldn't feel like my hands anymore. And I'm like, I don't know. And she's okay. Listen, hang up the phone, call 911 right now. I'll call Taylor. And I push back. No, I don't need to do that. She's like, call 911 right now.
Did you know,
So
Debbie?
I knew by that point it wasn't overexertion and it wasn't a panic attack.
Okay.
No history of heart issues, but I knew it wasn't what he thought it was.
Yeah.
And I'm here in Ohio.
Yeah.
Like I was not anywhere close.
So I call 911. The operator's like, where you're at? I don't know the address. I don't know. I couldn't give him an address. I'm like, I'm at CrossFit Throne. He rattles off the address. Who I thought he was repeating it back to me. I'm like, I don't care what the address is. He was telling it to the first responders. And as soon as he rattled off the address, he's like, Matt, first responders are on their way. And I hear the sirens. The fire station was like literally 3 or 4 blocks away.
Oh,
I
wow.
hear the sirens kick on. They come pick me up.
They hung up the phone.
911, 911 hung up the phone on me. They're like, hey, first responders are on the way. Click.
Okay, bye.
I'm like,
Oh,
So-
man.
I call her back. You know, I get her on FaceTime again. And I'm like, hey, they're, first responders are coming. Tell Taylor and Cortland where the van is at. I don't know what hospital I'm going to, but at least tell them to come get the van, from the gym. So they show up, they hook me up. They're like, hey, we're going to take you to the hospital. The ambulance ride, the ladies in the ambulance are like, we think you're having a panic attack. And I'm like, I've never had a panic attack, like ever. But if this feels like a panic attack, man, I'm really dumb. Because I'm like, this, I feel really stupid for calling 911 for a panic attack. So I get to the hospital, they check me in, and I'm laying there, and the attending doctor comes in. They've got me hooked up to an EKG, and he's looking at this report. He's like, hey, Matt, we're going to give you some morphine for the pain. I'm going to step out and I'll be right back. A minute and a half later, he comes back into the room and he's like, okay, as calmly as he could. He's like, Matt, you're in an active heart attack. And my son-in-law's not there yet. My kids aren't there yet. So I call her back because I don't know what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
She picks up and this is what she hears.
Sir, if your heart stops, it's okay. We'll start it again.
Oh my God.
With his dad at Christmas Eve church service. And that's what I hear.
Hey, that's what I'd want to hear.
Yeah.
If I was you, that's what I'd want to hear. If your heart's, at least someone
What-
there like
I
feels
say, like,
confident.
I can't say anything. I can't tell
Yeah.
his dad. His dad's 81 years old. That'll
Yeah.
give him a heart
Give
attack.
him a heart attack.
Yeah.
Sevi, I can tell you the pain, the fear when that doctor said, if your heart stops, we'll start it. The fear that resonated through my body. I've had my mom held a gun to my head. I've had a lot of bad things happen to me. I have never been that scared.
What do? Do you start praying? Do you start praying
Right
to God?
away.
Yeah.
It was, Sevi, it wasn't, I didn't have an option. Mentally, I didn't have a choice to say, well, I'm going to think about my kids or what didn't I accomplish or what couldn't I do? It was a forced focus on salvation. I can't explain it any other way. And the only thing I could remember was what the thief said on the cross, remember me, oh Lord. That was and I uttered that out loud to the point where the doctor was like, hey, Matt, I hear you. Keep praying. That's all I could say. And so my son-in-law finally gets there. I talked to her at 6:03. At 6:03 for 52 or 57 seconds. I hang up with her. I remember this very clearly. They transfer me from the bed I was in to an operating table. And they're like, hey, we're going to take you down the hall. The cardiac surgeon is ready for you. And we're going to get you all fixed up. We're going to find out what's going on with your heart. That I remember being transferred over and starting to roll to the elevator, right? Now my son-in-law fills in the blanks because I go out. I don't remember anything. And Cortland said the second the elevator doors opened, that's when you flatlined. Dude. So the surgeon who was in the elevator ready yelled to one of the nurses to jump up and start giving chest compressions, which I'm fully recovered now, but they cracked a couple of ribs. I mean, I was sore for about a month after that. So they gave me chest compressions until they rolled me into the operating room. And then they hit me with 360 joules. No response, no recovery. The second time so that was 6:10 p.m. based on the heart report. At 6:13, they hit me again, and I wake up mid compression. Like I felt my body come off of the table, wide awake. Nurses to my left, big video screen beside the bed. I can see my heart, and I can hear the surgeon. I couldn't see him because they had the X-ray, whatever they were using over the top of me, so I couldn't see to my right. But I could hear the surgeon struggling, trying to get to my heart. They went in my groin to get to my heart to find out what was going on. And they were trying to set the first stent. I was wide awake and extremely alert. I heard every conversation. Now, when the lights went out, Sevi, that darkness was I wasn't asleep. Like it was different. Like there was nothing there. Very calm, very cool, very quiet, like a dark, like I've never experienced before.
So you were still
and
conscious?
When I woke back up, what's that?
You were still conscious.
I don't know what I was. When my heart stopped, I have no idea what that was. I can't, I don't want to feel it again like that, but I don't know what it was. Now, when I woke back up after that second shock, I had never felt a peace of mind like I did when they woke me back up. To the point where the surgeon, when I finally came to and I was alert and I could hear everything, my heartbeat dropped below 40. Alarms are going off. The surgeon's like, "Come on, Matt, you got to stay with me. You got to stay with me. I'm trying to get there." I literally said, the next day he stood beside my bed and he asked me if I remember what I told him. I literally said, "Hey, doc, you've got this." He goes, "Matt, in 22 years of practical surgery, no one has woke up in the middle of surgery and said, 'Hey, doc, you've got this.'" A peace like I have never experienced before in my life. Whatever happened after that didn't matter. I was good. Either way.
I want to go back. So you said your prayer was remember
me, O Lord. Yeah.
Remember me, O Lord.
Was it. And I've been.
Had you ever prayed that before, or that was just
never.
Never.
Not like that. It was forced. You know, Sebi, my childhood was crazy. I was born. My mom was Jewish. I was born a Jew. I was raised Pentecostal, and then went as far away from the church as I possibly could. Drugs and alcohol and partying and all of that until 26 or 27 when I came back and rededicated my life to Christ. But it was still a work in progress. Like no one's perfect. Like I sin every day, and I'm, Debbie or I, we don't stand on this pedestal and say, "This is what Christ did for me, and look at what it can do for you in your life," and all of these things. That minute when he said, "Matt, if your heart stops, we'll start it again," I had I couldn't think of anything else outside of where am I going to spend eternity? Like, and it was a forced, verbal, "Remember me, O Lord." That was it. That's all I could get out. And then when I woke back up, I had a calm like I've never experienced ever before in my life.
What was the cause of the heart attack? You had a clot?
They don't know. So I don't have high cholesterol. I didn't have any other blockage. So my cardiologist, Dr. Massafari out of OSU, said, we all have plaque in our body. Plaque starts to build when we're a child, right? And my plaque broke loose in my LAD. So they call that the widowmaker. He's like, if they would have given you an echogram a week prior to your heart attack, it would have been clear. In your case, as is those that have the widowmaker heart attack like you did, most people have no idea. They don't have any history. He goes, basically what happened is plaque is almost like a scab that builds up in the vessel. And if it becomes weak, every time your heart beats, it picks at that scab, pick. And essentially it breaks free. And that's what happened. He goes, there's a 10-minute window. When that plaque broke free, you've got 10 minutes from the time it breaks free to the time your heart stops, because it clogs the heart.
I'm guessing sometimes it breaks free and it doesn't clog the heart. It just goes through. It also depends on the size of the scab.
I guess the
like
plaque. I don't. Yeah. So that's a 10. Like he's like, man, you had 10 minutes.
What did they? So did they unclog? Is the stent still in there?
I got 2 stents in my LAD. Yeah. They put them together.
Dale King, thank you, Matt, for not dying. Driving to Salina for a funeral would have been highly inconvenient for me. All right. Good.
I know. And he would have been the first one there. I love you, Dale. Like, you guys have no idea how much Dale and
hey, so
Greg and all those.
This really is a good story too, because now that it's broken off, it's done.
Yeah, right. That's done.
It's not like you had some sort of condition where it's like, okay, it's going to happen again, or you had any serious clotting. It was just some dead cells.
Random. What did he say?
Plug
Matt,
the hole.
you're just unlucky.
You're one of the unlucky ones. Yeah.
You're one of the unlucky ones.
And the other thing too in this story is, remember, we live in a small town. So we don't have a cardiologist in our area. We have 2 community hospitals. Neither one have a cardiologist.
Cardiac surgeon.
So So if he would have had that here, it's a 30-minute helicopter ride.
Oh, fuck.
He was in Lubbock, right there near a level 1 trauma center.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many things to this. And for us, this is taking it back to this. This is why we do what we do. There's no time to waste.
Yeah.
There's no time to waste.
Yeah.
And I've been to Lubbock. I bet you they have a lot of heart attacks there. That was the I went there maybe. I was stationed there for this show I was making for the History Channel, Chasing Tornadoes, and that was like our home base as we traveled up in that tornado corridor all the way up to Canada and back. And I just remember, I don't know, this was 20 or 30 years ago, but I remember the town was full of all-you-can-eat restaurants, and I had never seen so many. Like, I hadn't really seen 300-pound people at that point in California yet. Yeah. And they were just, I was like, holy shit, Lubbock is gnarly. So they probably have a good cardiac.
Covenant. Yeah, I was at Covenant Hospital, and that's where it happened.
Look at when you zoom in, the first thing that pops up is Buffalo Wild Wings.
Crazy. Yeah, man, and you know the
medical center, amazing.
Yeah, the surgeon and my cardiologist, like, Matt, if this would have happened anywhere else outside of that operating table, different result. You're not here. You're gone.
Hey, I'm so glad you shared that story too. That's good for people to hear, because now I feel like the whole time I'm like, okay, if I ever feel that shit that you're talking about, I'm just calling 911.
Yeah, don't question it. That's my cardiologist kind of stated this over and over and over. He's like, listen, this is not exercise induced. This is not the worst thing you could do is stop exercising. Don't do it. Like, and he's a believer in CrossFit himself. He's like, we have to make sure your heart's right. We have to make sure your heart's strong. So we're going to do the rehab, and then you've got to stay in the gym. Like, I can't stress enough how most people that come in here don't have that background, and we're begging them to eat right and go to a gym. So he's like, this was not that. But if your listener, or if you, Sevi, if you feel anything across your chest that is not something you felt before, don't hesitate.
In the hands.
In the hands. Like, my hands, they weren't tingly. It's just like I couldn't feel them. They weren't there.
And it was both. It wasn't just the left side.
It was both. And
I have this really weird feeling. I used to get it and I used to panic. but then I figured out what it was. My wife actually figured out what it was. I get tingling in my hands, and it just means I have to take a shit. Isn't that crazy? It's so crazy.
That's a good indicator.
It's so crazy. My wife's like, go take a dump. And I'm like, go take a dump. And it went away. It must be something like something's pushing against some nerve or something, some big, hefty loaded,
Probably.
hefty
That
dude.
makes sense, for
Yeah,
sure.
but I was scared shitless for the first few times it happened.
You're having a stroke, but you actually just have to take a massive dump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sent me into a panic attack. Hold on. There's someone in here I want to say hi to. Where is he? I thought I saw the fittest flat earther in here.
He's there.
Where is he?
He says this.
Oh, God is awesome. Fittest flat earther. Good to see you, buddy.
And then he also asks if you believe. Oh, here it is. Does he know the Earth is flat? Matt, do you know?
Oh.
It's not flat.
Oh,
I
no.
don't know. I've not been to outer space, but
Tyler Hansen. Does he know it's like he doesn't? Tyler thinks I'm faking it because I don't know that the Earth. I think the Earth is still round too, but I think it's a compliment. He says I'm too smart to think that. I'm like, all
I'm
right.
pretty
good.
confident it's round.
Hey, could be not as confident.
So
No.
the moral of the story, it's not easy, but there is stress that comes along with it, but it's every second is worth it.
Yeah.
Every second is valuable.
Hey, one more question. Why did they think it was those ladies in the ambulance? Shouldn't they have? It sounds like your shit was textbook.
I think they were trying to calm him down
Okay.
emotionally because they had already done the EKG like on site, like they brought it. I could see him because I was still on FaceTime, so they just took the phone and laid it off to the side, and I could see. So I saw him like looking at the paperwork, pointing to, you know, some of the heartbeats and stuff that it was checking out or whatever it is. And then she said something about it's an anxiety attack or panic attack, and she gave him the spray in his mouth. But I think which is for a heart attack, not for anxiety,
Yeah.
right? But I think she was just trying to say it to calm him down.
Yeah, they sprayed nitro, and that didn't touch the pain, like didn't touch the feeling at all. Like they hit me with that. I'm like, oh, okay, that tastes funny, but that was it. Like there was nothing, no change.
This is good. Tyler's batting 500. God is awesome. All right, there you go. That's solid. Batting 500 is good.
That's right.
Hey,
That's right.
what is? Can you tell me what is the big pressing thing for this program on your plate now? Like what are your big goals for this? Maybe goals is the right word. I don't want to project on you that you have goals, but what is?
Yeah.
Where are you in this program, the juvenile program?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we're that currently is trying to figure out how to create a grant or how to write a grant. And I've been doing the best I could, you know,
Just through the Homeland Security possibility for funding there. Okay.
Yeah, because that really helps the funding piece, you know, and funding is one of the big things that we get pushed back on, you know, from counties and states that are like, hey, that's a great program, and I see your data, but gosh, we just don't have any money to do that. So
But
that's
Matt,
the piece.
isn't the big problem? So sorry. Let's say, isn't the big problem not so much the money, but getting a judge to give the court ordered? How do I find a judge in Santa Cruz, California, who's willing to assign prison time at a CrossFit gym?
Yeah.
So that part takes a little bit of time with it to find the right person. You know, sometimes we start with a police officer who gets us to a juvenile probation officer who gets us, and eventually we can get in there. At the end of the day, the judge has to account for what he or she accomplished while they were in that position, right? They have to report to the public. They have to report to the government what they've been able to do. So they want to find forward-thinking programs for the most part. They want to find forward-thinking programs, like Matt said, that are evidence-based. Because this is a pro-social, so it's teaching kids how to work together, whole health wellness, helping physical, mental, and emotional. Those are things that the government's looking for. Those are big hot topics right now. One of the things that we were just able to do is we brought on staff members finally to be able to help, because we're running out of time in the day. to be able to make all the contacts we need to get all the calls to the different government offices and get in front of different people. So we brought on 2 people to help spread that workload so that we can hopefully help more people in the process.
Do you have gyms reaching out to you who are trying, like, what's more important, the money or the getting the buy-in from the courts?
The buy-in from the courts.
Buy-in from the court.
Okay.
And the buy-in from the gyms. Affiliates willing to accept the kids. That's, it's hard to say, but that is a part of it too.
Can we hang out there for just 1 second?
Please. I got plenty of time.
One of the things that I want to make clear to people, courts will ask or gyms will ask, well, who don't you let in, right? Who's made too bad of a choice that they're not part of the program? We don't govern that for you. What we do is we work with your county. So with Dr. Erin Kuhn, the trauma trained psychologist, we've developed something called the big picture analysis that our court takes every kid through when they're placed on probation. This is the at risk or the risk analysis that we use to assess every kid. Then our court uses that document to help decide what programs are best for that kid. I always use the example, if I was on probation, you would not put me in equestrian therapy because I'm allergic to horses. So we help figure that out. Now, there are kids who sometimes they need a doctor's note. Like they have to have a physical. But if you have a heart defect or you have asthma or something like that, we need the okay from your doctor for you to participate. There are kids who are not ready for that pro-social environment yet. They cannot handle a group without becoming violent. So they may have to do extra counseling before that. One of the things that we've had is we've had kids who are on probation who were also, like Kenzie, who were victims, right? And sometimes the person who committed that crime against them is a teenager and they both might be on probation. So we do help your county navigate situations like that. The worst in our small town, the worst charge we've ever had is attempted murder. And our story about this kid, he's actually texted me last night. He's come into the gym today. A couple months ago, I was coaching and we were doing bench press and I let the kids pick their spotter. Sometimes we assign, sometimes we let to kind of see how things go out. And he was on the bench and his spotter was the brother of the kid he stabbed. Wow. They chose that. I didn't choose that. They chose that.
Wow.
So when you have a program that has data with, like, here are the stories, here are the pictures of those kids, it's not hard to get that buy-in.
Yeah.
Wow, that's intense. I'd have kept a close eye on that.
Yeah.
We did. I
We
did.
did.
Very close eye.
Wow.
I mean, and you got to think, we have probation officers there. They're working out, but they also know how to keep an eye on things.
Wow.
Jeez, man.
So that's our next step, trying to figure out this grant piece and then promote and kind of grow the 9/11 climb event for September. Trying to get as many first responders, as many affiliates. Doesn't have to be the state of Ohio. I know Matt is going to run it with the programs that he works with. The goal is to get as many first responders across the nation and affiliates involved. It's free. There's no charge. Sign up, tell them you're going to do it. Just to do it, just to bring the brotherhood and sisterhood of the first responder community back together. Even if it's just for one day, allow them to come in and do the event. The Froning put the workout together for us. Rich and Jake and Jimmy Hensel, they've come alongside of us, just like Dale and Emily and team. They've helped us out a ton. So when we created the 9/11 workout, we're like, what do we do? And Rich was like, give me 15 minutes.
Oh, that's
come
awesome.
Back. Here's your workout. And it's a phenomenal one, so.
Is there, what if people want to, what if there's an affiliate who's listening now who's like, hey, I want to try this program? Are you guys taking that type of correspondence?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And once again, that's Debbie. That's Debbie, DEBBIE at CrossFitCrave.com.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Is every day just wild for you guys? Like just stuff
Yes.
comes up over the horizon every day. You guys are never on autopilot.
No.
No. Yeah.
My mom, she's like, Debbie, what are you doing? How are you talking to these people? I don't know.
Wow. And it sounds like you've learned a lot just in even hearing you explain, like in a very short synopsis of what the government wants, like you're figuring things out as you go along.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I guess the other really nice part is as you build these relationships, as Matt was saying, these people are also, taking higher and higher ranks in the political world.
That's right.
Becoming sheriffs, police chiefs, fire captains. As the people you're working with grow in the ranks, they can bring you with them.
That's right. Yep. Grassroots.
Yeah, maybe the governor of Ohio will run for president.
Vivek.
Maybe Andy will.
Yeah,
let's go for Andy. Wilson.
Yeah, let's go for Andy.
Didn't Vivek run? Didn't Vivek do Murph?
Yeah, Vivek did. He's going to run for governor. We want to try to get in front of him at some point, and put our support behind him if that's what he's going to do. But we've not been able to do that yet. So Ramaswamy is going to he'll probably win the state, I'm guessing, but we'll see.
All right. Anything else you want to leave us with?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Hey, I'm really glad I heard that we got to that Christmas story. What a Christmas story. Not your traditional, not your average Christmas story. What a great story.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's crazy the amount of phone calls, text messages we get that start with, "Hey, we heard you on Sevi's podcast."
Oh, good.
From the very first podcast we did, which was 2 years ago, whatever it was. I'm telling you, man, that the message that you spread is infectious. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. It's a really passionate, I feel like pretty accepting group of people. We take a wild ride over here, but I feel like a lot of these people really give a shit and they keep their head down, and they've always supported the podcast, and they seem to be attracted to the same things I'm attracted to, and I love stories like this. So thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Oh, is that the first one?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Wow.
That's our gym.
I'm growing my hair long again. Oh, look, am I cross-eyed? What's going on with me?
I don't know. I was scared to death.
You were?
Oh, to do that oh man, I was palm sweaty. I had no idea. And it was probably the easiest thing I've ever done.
Look, that was before the listeners bought me the sign. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old school.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, you
Love
guys
you,
are
man.
always welcome on. Thank you. And I really mean that. I'm not just saying that. You guys ever just want to come on, you don't even have to stay on for a whole 90 minutes. You want to just come on and tell a story or just whatever, or be like, "Hey, we're looking for this," or "We're promoting this event." Just come on, or just to send me whatever you want. I love doing this. I was so excited for this yesterday I didn't do a show. Jake Chapman did the show for me, and then last night I didn't prepare for this show at all. My wife, I was like, "Hey, babe, let's watch The Chosen," and we hadn't watched it like in a month because I'm always preparing at night. She's like, "Don't you need to prepare for your podcast?" I'm like, "Nah, I got Debbie and Shindeldecker coming on. This is a slam dunk. It's gonna rain stories from these guys." Yeah.
Thanks,
I love
brother.
you guys are so easy. All right, thank you very much, and take care. Have a good day, and stay in touch. And I'm glad that you and Matt have built such a good relationship, because I hear a lot of stories about what you guys are doing. So thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
All
See
right,
you guys.
ciao.
See you guys.
God, I love an easy show.
It's the best, right?
Yeah, I love seeing Tyler in there too. That was cool. You got to watch Shameless. Great show.
Shameless is the exact opposite of Chosen.
I'm already excited to watch the 5th season of The Boys. I bawled like a baby yesterday in The Chosen. Holy
Really?
shit, dude. So
One of my classmates was telling me that he was watching it. He's a big Catholic guy.
does he like it,
That he loves it. Yeah, him and his wife watch it together.
dude?
Where are you at? What happened? What was the? Not that you're gonna spoil anything for anybody.
I know, and I already know what's going to happen, and all the, just I don't even know if I can say it without crying. It's like not even a big deal. I don't even know what the big deal is. My wife's like, "Are you crying?" Like I have to cover my face during the show like it's a horror movie. I'm a mess during the show. I get so excited. I get in such a frenzy. I get so fucking excited every time the Jesus character comes on the screen. I feel like a little kid when like when the trolley would come on Mr. Rogers. Did you remember? Is that the
Yeah.
show Mr. Rogers and the trolley would come on? Or like in Sesame Street when Snuffleupagus would come on, I would fucking lose my shit.
Oh yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the trolley. Like the trolley would make an appearance, and that was like my only. That's the only thing I liked about Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the train. Chris Cornell plays a great Jesus. He I think Tyler did a video on Chris Cornell and that dude Jonathan such and such that plays Jesus are the same guys. This lady who's like pussy's been bleeding for like 12 years and like if your pussy's bleeding you're not allowed to touch a dude or something. I don't know what the deal is, but she wants her pussy to stop bleeding and he's walking through I can't even do it. But you should see it. You should watch it. I don't know. I don't understand why my wife wasn't crying. But there was this. So yesterday I read this. Yesterday I was sitting down and I'm reading this book. I wonder if I can find the exact quote. But I was reading this book by a yogi named Prabhupada Yogananda, and he had dedicated this book to Jesus, this yogi. And there was a section in the book. I was literally reading it in the afternoon, like at 2:00. I'm going through and throwing away like half my fucking books. So I found this book and it's only 24 pages long. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to read this book. Right. So I stop and I read the book. And in the book, there's a section in there that talks about how you should, there's a section in the book where it talks about how you should not. Jesus, lower your TV, Jeremy. There's a section in the book where it says, don't fear, believe. Yogananda says that in the book. Don't have fear, just believe. Don't ever have fear, believe. And I was like, oh, my wife should read this part. I think this would help her. Because like, I rarely fear anything. I just keep believing it. God damn it.
Fuck, dude.
Off your fucking TV. I rarely have fear. I just believe. You know what I mean? Like no matter what happens, I get a flat tire, I'm broken on the side of the road. Just whatever happens, I'm chill. Don't have enough money for mortgage. I'm like, whatever, it's gonna happen. I got my head down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just spending my day being a sinner, as they say in the biblioteca.
Fuck it.
Yeah. And then I just read that in the book, and I called my wife. I'm like, hey, there's a section in this book you should see. This "Don't Fear, Just Believe" section. It's pretty fucking cool. It's only a paragraph. And then in the show, he says that. Jesus says that. Exact line. Don't fear, believe. It was season 3, episode 5. Oh, that was only 6 out of 10. I don't know. I felt like I could have had a Shindeldecker heart attack or something there. Fucking A.
You don't fear when black people are walking up on you on the sidewalk?
No, I believe that crossing the street's the right thing to do.
Holy fucking shit. Mute the TV.
Perfect game.
Mute your goddamn YouTube.
What are you talking about? Is it loud?
What the fuck do you mean? What am I talking about? There's an echo.
Hey, you call in fucking every show. You know better. You don't even have an excuse.
I'm in the office right now. How the hell? It's like the quietest office on earth.
Okay, that's better. There we go. That's better. Oh, nope, not better.
This is
Anyway,
better?
make it quick. There better be vagina in this story.
Oh, I swear to God, dude.
Speaking of which, did you watch it? Is this better?
Yeah, thank you.
Did you watch it? Did you watch the video?
What video? The Chosen? Yeah.
I texted to you. No, not the Chosen. The
Oh.
opposite of the Chosen.
Oh, you texted to me now?
No, I texted to you like yesterday or whatever day that I.
Oh,
that you
yes,
asked me to text it
yes.
to you.
And I sent it around to some friends. That was some crazy shit.
Isn't that fucking wild?
I did not. I want you to be. I want to be very clear. There were 2 videos that had thumbnails that I did not click on, and you know which ones I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
I did not click on those. Yeah. I sent that around to some friends. I was like, look at this. Is that based?
So you
is she based in Phoenix?
Yeah.
Man.
That's her name now. It's like something Phoenix or whatever. But
and they're making money. They're making money off of that.
They're making money. They're making a lot of money. Like they're making a lot of money. They're doing very well. But like you get that from a friend. Does that changes the friendship, right?
Did you know that she had that body the whole time you knew her?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, 100%. I mean, like I said, they were like I said the other day when I coached them at the gym, they were very interested. They were way more interested in what their bodies look like than what they were capable of doing. I think that's kind of changed now because they're both pretty fit in CrossFit, but they always cared about, the triceps and the quads and all that stuff. And so, yeah, you should see her transformation from like 10 years ago.
Is that really her husband getting railed?
That is, man. That is him. While having her scooter all in his mouth at the same time. I really don't
want to judge. I really don't want to judge, but man.
My brain can't wrap around that. I can't understand like how that's a thing. And I've seen some crazy shit, but that takes the cake right there.
Did they ever try to get you involved in that?
No, but my guess with her sending me this this business of hers is that it's coming down the pipeline soon to be like, hey, do you want to come down? And that's going to be a hard no. A soft no. Maybe,
get some revenue. Get some revenue share.
I mean, I'll do whatever that doesn't involve me getting paid. There's that.
I'm glad they're a bit successful at it. It's always nice when a business takes off. Hey, and that's not even OnlyFans. That's like some competitor to OnlyFans.
It was like Loyal Fans or something like that. I think that's what it was called, right? Loyal Fans.
I've never subscribed to OnlyFans. I've gone to their website. I watched Whitney Cummings on their website. My wife sent me a link to it. And then a few times I've gone over there because of a link, but I've never seen anything free. It's always like you got to pay for shit.
Yeah, most of the time, from what I've heard, it's that you have to pay for it. I don't know how this was free. I have no idea. I think it was just a couple vids were free. I clicked off so fast. Hold on, rewind. Did you say Whitney Cummings has an OnlyFans page?
Not like where she's naked, but she does stand up. Hey, listen to this really quick, okay? This is like a minute long. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
1.4 million women in America do OnlyFans. 1.2 million is between 18 and 24. What percent of women, how many women in America are between 18 to 24? I find out roughly 10 million women. So just on OnlyFans alone, 10% of women in that age group are on OnlyFans. So there's only 10 million women between 18 to 25. Then I decided to think more about the consumers. Who is consuming OnlyFans? And I found out that 82 million American men subscribe to OnlyFans. Now, to think about how big that number is.
You fucknut. Hold on a second. That's Sevon's audio. I only hear it when Sevon talks. Yeah, because it's my fucking audio, but it's going through his fucking phone. It's bouncing back through his phone. It's not my fucking mic.
What noise is happening right now?
I don't know. I'll get back to you in a second. Let's go back to this OnlyFans thing. Sorry.
How many people are in America? 165 million men are in the United States. And they're telling me that 82 million out of 162 million are subscribed to OnlyFans.
I keep telling you that men are fucking disgusting perverts, dude.
We are.
I keep fucking telling you. I keep telling you. I want to tell you, I know at least 3 women in a fucking half dozen men who've cheated on their fucking spouses who are in the fucking CrossFit space, who you guys all think are fucking holier than thou and the coolest fucking people, and they would never do something like that.
we're fucked.
And you
Like, our country,
you got
I mean,
me
half
over
of the
here
men-
just having honest conversation about exercisers, and I'm somehow the fucked up fucking pervert. I'm telling you, all those people on fucking Reddit, except for Hiller, are fucking pedophiles. I'm fucking telling you, it's just the odds, man. It's just
that's
the
game
fucking
plan
odds.
is to project. The game plan is to project what they do onto someone like you. So you're open-minded, willing, like you said, willing to have those conversations. They're the ones doing the fucked up stuff, but they don't want to take accountability. So they're like, oh, look at Sevan, he's a pervert and he talks about exercisers and whatever. He's like, no, he's the open-minded person. You're the pervert cheating on your husband and your wife, doing all the fucked up stuff, but you don't want to take accountability for it. So, but that is staggering that half of our men are.
And check this out,
like,
85, it's something she goes on to say, like 85% of those men are married.
That is horrible. That's horrible. And then what was it? 10% of girls between the ages of 18 and 25 have an OnlyFans page. Wow.
I know it's
2 daughters, and I seriously, I'm just gonna buy some land where no one else lives, and we're gonna go Amish. Like, I don't even want to find out in like 15 or 20 years, like, oh, dad, I had this. I mean, she probably wouldn't tell me. They probably wouldn't tell me. You know, someone telling me, hey, you know, your daughters have OnlyFans pages. Oh.
And listen, I'm not judging anyone. Like, go on your own path, do your own thing. Like, but just the numbers seem high. Like, I'm okay. Like
very high.
Like if Jeremy, if they call you up and you gotta, like, you know, rail some chick, you know, that's fine. You know what I mean? You're gonna be on video. I'm fine with it. But just there's so many people out there who are preaching, who present to be holier than thou, and like, especially if the dudes, they're lying.
Oh yeah, 100%. Again, personal accountability is not what's popular in America right now. It's projection and blame others and all that kind of stuff. Like, people don't want to own their issues, and it's someone else's fault. I mean, what did I just see? I just saw this video that William Bates will be inspired or whatever. The big old black buff dude I was talking about, trying to get him on your show. He has these awesome videos.
The cook for the White House?
No, the big Will Be Inspired is his Instagram page. He's that big old black guy. You lying to me? That guy.
Oh yeah.
Like
I've tried to get him on. He's great.
He's awesome. Like this morning, yesterday, one of the past 2 days, he had this story of just gigantic white chick. She was a teacher, and one of her students or something called her fat or said she was fat. Like, it was an innocent way. And she's like, well, I could have taken that opportunity to say that thinness or being skinny is rooted in white supremacy and blah, blah. And I'm like, wait, what? How did you make that leap between you being fat and it being linked, or thinness being linked? Like, my point is, that's our country right now. Instead of being like, you know what, that kid is right. I am fat, and she was fat, like very fat. I'm gonna change my life. No, I'm gonna take this opportunity to be a victim and say some crazy outlandish shit. I'm like, yeah, the status of our country is freaking weird right now, man. Backwards.
Hey, I want to put out a challenge out there to all the men. Stop masturbating to porn. How about just go old school? Just close your eyes and
like magazines.
Yeah, just
Hustlers?
No, nothing. That's where we've
just nothing.
Yeah, just nothing. Just no. Look at Tyler Washington. Like, no.
David Weed.
Yeah. Listen. If you got a masturbation problem, how about this? How about just close your eyes and just go, just go fucking neurons. No more 4K. No more devices. Here's a fucking great idea by David Weed. Try anal and pussy. Try anal pussy. God damn it.
Anal pussy
takes too long.
I feel like my thought on that is like,
that's where we're at.
People say,
that's where we're at.
Dudes masturbating is gay, right? People are like, oh, you're gay and you're a guy and you masturbate. If you don't watch anything or look at a picture of a chick or something, or even think about a chick, I think that is super gay. You know what I mean? Like, I hear what you're saying, but like, if I'm gonna if I'm gonna yank on myself,
my point is that's
I
where
need
we've
something to think about.
that's where we've gotten. Like masturbating is now wholesome if you don't do it without. It's still like Jesus approved. Like the Catholic,
sure,
you know how like the
sure.
Catholic Church would like approve it probably if you didn't watch. Like that's how we're so off the path.
Yeah, we have the 82 million men, the 10%. I mean, that's crazy. I didn't even know until I saw some of these things recently that you could even do those things on OnlyFans. I literally thought OnlyFans was like bikinis or whatever, and like people pay. Now it's like straight up porn. Like, wow, we've fallen a little bit.
Well, thank
Anyways,
you for your call.
Caleb, are you?
No. Thank you for your call. Love you. Bye. Jesus Christ, Caleb.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Now, Caleb. Oh, there you go. Pat Lang, always optimistic. 82 million men making the economy great again. What's the problem? Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Janelle Winston said, how do you know? Like, you want to check your husband's credit card to see if he subscribes to OnlyFans? There was someone's OnlyFans I was going to buy as like a business expense. Like we had to get someone on who was like an OnlyFans, but I still couldn't do it. I didn't want to put my shit in the data bank. Even though I'm sure I'm in plenty of other fucked up data banks. I donated money to Trump. That's probably fucked me.
Yeah, you're screwed.
CIA, in the next 10 years, the CIA will come get me.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Lang sent me two like Republican dudes who got recently busted, 2 separate incidents for fucking kids. He loves sending me that stuff.
2 Republicans? I thought it was a bunch of Democrats that just did it, or somebody that was.
They're always doing it. That's why Pat gets really excited when it's Republican.
Oh, right.
And hey, the one dude that Pat actually sent me, like if you didn't know this dude was a pedo, I wonder if
fucking retarded.
Oh my God, it's so crazy how sometimes it's so evident. I'm gonna show you this. This is nuts. Someone sent me a pedo story recently that I was like, I don't know if I believe that one. When they don't tell me the age of the people, I start to let me see if I can find this one. Shit, where's Pat Lang's DM? I hate having to go through DMs. Well, I can just type in his name, right? Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it'll pop up.
This one. Oh my God, this guy is such a douche. Okay, here we go. Tell me how long it takes you to realize that something's not right with this dude.
As soon as I saw the picture.
Boom.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Say goodbye to my wife and kids and make the 3 during session. I say goodbye to my wife and kids and make the 3-hour trek to St. Paul to fight for our way of life, because day after day, it is under attack from Metro liberals.
A Minnesota state senator just arrested, accused of soliciting a minor for prostitution. 40-year-old Senator Justin Eichhorn is
I don't know why I can just tell.
He's just creepy looking.
It's just like, God, you're just so
a Republican representing Grand Rapids. Bloomington police say that detectives posed as a 16-year-old girl and arranged to meet with him in Bloomington. Well, he was arrested after arriving in the area of the meeting spot.
Every Sunday night during session, I say goodbye to.
Oh, this is a libtard. This is look at not all Republicans, but always a Republican. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, how about your most famous one, Anthony Weiner, who like what is the so wow, so Democrats actually think this. This must be a libtard site. I always like to visit their sites and see what the fuck these crazies think.
Not trans, not a drag queen, not an immigrant. Color me shocked.
Look at this is the reason why it's okay to have drag queens. Look at this.
This one specific instance is why it's okay.
Party of Trump.
Not a drag queen.
One of the MAGA GOP. This is the Republican Party. It's always the
Usual
ones who hype how
suspect.
perfect and pious they are. God bless them for starting with that campaign clip before diving into the facts. GOP values, diddling kids. There you go, Fox News.
Republicans being
What is
Republicans.
this? Wow, this is a crazy this is a libtard site. If you're here, give me a follow. The Courier Room. Oh, I gotta watch this one. Hold on. I'm watching it.
For the Department of Education. He got axed. Opened up the computer, guess what? You're gone.
My son lost his job. Now this is some libtard shit when your mom comes out and fights for you because you lost your job.
My mom loves me very much.
Let me tell you what he did for the Department of
I got zero sympathy from my parents when I fucking lost my job. Zero. Matter of fact, they still fucking send me articles from the fucking New York Times. Like it's.
Remember that one time when you lost your job?
reviewed contract. He saved everybody in here thousands of tax dollars, and his evaluation was the top. Then I turn on the TV the next day, and there is Trump saying they were scum, no good people, what they got rid of. I am furious.
He's scum.
Where is Scott Perry? Our federal workers, he has some.
Guys, everyone in that room is fucking obese and fucking over 70.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still fighting for her son who lost his fucking job. Not
Most federal workers under him. Where is he?
Oh, baby, someone fucked that at some point, that thing.
And that thing. And that thing right there.
Hey, I mean this with peace and love. I bet you in any half an hour of my waking moments in life and in any 5 minutes of my sleeping moment in life, I contribute more to fucking society than all the people in the room combined. I mean that with peace and love and zero humility. My son lost his job. She didn't even fucking say anything.
Just mad.
Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So, and if you own one, we're not blaming you. You can take dental floss and pull the Tesla thing off, and take out, just telling you. Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've.
What the fuck, dude?
Attacking America's largest automaker that's owned by that was created by a liberal.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
He is kind of retarded.
This is what the libtards get off on. I'm not convinced the dealership didn't do it themselves. Oh, I didn't know liberals had paranoid people. Are we sure they didn't spontaneously combust?
Didn't they have a Tesla spontaneously combust in like a tunnel or something?
I think anywhere you have electric batteries, that shit's happening.
Yes, exactly.
Man. Wow. Oh, here we
There's
go.
I found a website
Let me
that's
ask
just
you
called.
your opinion on this. Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary show. They did one thing, they did a sketch where Tom Hanks puts on a MAGA hat, so he's a Trumper, and then Keenan comes over to shake his hand, and he won't shake his hand.
Yeah.
And I said this on Fareed's show the other day. I found that's so old. You know, I didn't vote for him. I get all the bad things about that administration, but if you think they don't shake black people's hands, it's just you're wrong. That's not who they are. Matt Gates shakes black people's hands. You know, Kid Rock will shake your hand. It's just not helpful to like think that half the country that's where they are. That's your
Still, you're a comedian. You know, it's part of its comedy.
I understand.
But let's be honest. There's a huge faction of the MAGA movement that's really racist.
So they think the fucking right is more racist than the left. Isn't that fucking fascinating? Imagine someone having their foot on their neck, but they're telling you that they don't fuck economically, emotionally, intellectually. They just fucking have their foot on your neck, but they're telling you that they like you and that those people over there are the racist, and you believe it.
But don't worry, they're telling everybody how good they are for helping, for at least not killing them, or at least not pushing harder on their necks.
Every single one of their policies gets fucking black people fucking murdered at a higher rate, and yet it's amazing. Your racism definition is different than theirs, Sevi. Right. Equality is not one of their strong points of their. You have to feel sorry for black people, or else you're racist. Under the guise of being nice. Wow. Oh my God. One more. Holy shit. One more. CNN poll. AOC leads list of Democrats who best reflect the party's core values. They don't have any fucking core values.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Jasmine Crockett, 4%. She's number 5. She's tied with Barack Obama.
Who even is that?
Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
She's this fucking I don't know if she went to Ivy League, but ultra privileged fucking well-educated congresswoman who parades around like a fucking hood rat. She does all the hood rat shit to speak to her base. To be fair, the people that live in the South and actually hate black people just for being black, we know who they voted for. Hey, just to be clear, Pat, the people who really hate blacks, the fucking 40 million Californians, we all know who they voted for too. And just so we know, the people who really hate blacks, the people of fucking New York City, we know who they voted for too. Hated blacks. I never fucking met anyone who fucking hates black people. Well, not openly. They would rather just bring free needle and free fentanyl programs to their neighborhoods in the guise of kindness. That's their love. Let's dump the fentanyl in the black neighborhood and the clean needle program. Like fucking Steph Curry. BLM, but not in his fucking Atherton home. God, it's fucking so annoying. Oh, David Weed hates black people. Okay, sorry. How could you
but not in the Hamptons?
How could you hate someone because of their skin color? It's fucking how retarded would you have to be? Think about how stupid you would have to be. I don't mean this against you, David. I accept you. I don't even know if you're serious or not. But just imagine seeing someone's skin color and hating them.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
I could hate them for like having bad breath. Hate's a little strong, but like not want to be around them.
I could hate him for attempting to steal my purse.
Yeah. Pat Lang, I live in Boston. I know many people who hate people simply because they're black. It's taught from day one. Yeah, those are those fucking Irish kind of inbred looking people. I know that look. I seen that look. I hate people for being assholes. Oh, here we go. Here's a consensus. We have 2 votes for Irish Bostonians. The most racist people I met in the United States Marine Corps while serving in South Carolina and North Carolina were 2 Irishmen from Boston. I bet you guys still haven't met anyone who's racist. Yeah, I bet you both of you are confused about even what racism is. Can you imagine? Have you ever known anyone who wouldn't shake someone's hand because of the color of their skin?
No.
Yeah, that's fucking. Although, remember that white old guy didn't shake Kamala's hand when he was on stage during the campaign or during the presidential. Remember, it was like some senator's husband who was a tall white guy wouldn't shake her hand, but it ended up that he had dementia. But the left tried to play it off like he's being.
How dare he?
Yeah.
Actually, that guy doesn't even know where he is at this very moment.
Yeah. Hey, I think we're gonna make episode 5. Episode 5 free after this. Free? No, not free. Sorry, not free. I
For
missed
CEOs.
For CEOs. I don't think it's ever going to be free this year. Wow, I would have thought that. No, where? Oh, I live in the most. No, not that. Where? No one uses. I'm very. Oh, here. I'm very Irish, but I was taught from day one that racism didn't exist in our house. I wasn't taught racism didn't exist. I was just told I wasn't allowed to say that word. I could play it on my radio all day long, but if you utter that word, NIGGA, you're in big trouble. NIGGA. Are you healthy right now, Caleb? Like your body, like injury free?
No.
Oh,
No.
did you do your PT?
Yeah, I took my PT test.
Did you pass?
Yeah, I passed.
Oh,
Fucking
good job.
hated every moment of it, but I passed.
Did it feel good? You were stoked when it was over, though. Didn't you feel
Yeah.
like you accomplished something? Like hell yeah, check.
That was like the last bullshit thing I had to do before I leave, basically, or before I go to graduation and all that shit. So
Are you in an Airbnb?
yeah. Yeah. What?
That is a lot of artwork for an Airbnb.
Dude, I know. It's insane. It's
What about
and
a
it-
picture?
I was
Who puts a picture over the TV, dude?
Dude, no idea. There's a wall right next to me that has 5 pieces of artwork, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, vertical, and they're all like different. Like one of them is "Home is where the dog is." Another one is a glass of wine being poured. Another one says, "One day I'm gonna make the onions cry." And then right above it, it's like a sign for the direction to the beach.
What's this one to your right? Why is it so low? Who even sees that one? That one's like that's below dick level for you.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea.
Is that the lowest painting in the house?
No, there's actually one lower just behind the.
What is going on? So it's more like wallpaper than.
Yeah, for sure. And there's actually what's really funny is there's like a clown right there.
Is that Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
Is it really?
No.
Oh.
It's some fucking clown. So whenever you like wake up in the morning and you come out of the bedroom, it's just this fucking clown staring at you.
That is a trippy. And then some weird lamp over there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a man's head? Is that the lampshades on a man's head?
No, it's just like a glass thing. And then, but the nice thing is it's got like this massive like 8 window sliding glass door thing over here. You just
Yeah.
open it up and it just opens up into like a little like lake area, grassy area. So you just sit out there and just hang out. It's nice.
And do you have anything to do today?
Yeah, we're doing a grad practice at 1:00. And then I
Oh,
got to pick up my parents and brother from the airport.
wow, you a grad practice.
Yeah, because everybody's got to remember how to march and shit and like fucking salute.
Show me a salute. What's the proper salute?
Just like
This?
that, right-handed. That's
Is
right.
that-
Oh yeah, that's so good, dude. That's
What do I do
perfect.
with it? What do I do with my thumb?
Just put it up right against your hand, just like that.
And what's a typical wrong? And then I just bend the elbow.
Yeah, just bend the elbow. Just throw it up there like that. Yeah,
What
that's
if I
good.
did this? What if I did this?
That's pretty fun. Oh,
Not good.
then you're throwing your heart out to the crowd.
God damn, my elbow hurts.
Yeah, Sousa, do you mind if I just commandeer the channel and just stream it? I'll just send a link to my mom and she can record it for everybody to watch.
How's my salute, Ortega?
It's good, man. It looked good when I was watching this one.
I think I just
So
go straight parallel. Boom.
Yeah. See, you're talking about racism, dude. Louisiana, the most
Wait,
racist place
hold
I've
on,
ever
wait,
been.
hold on 1 second. I'm gonna disconnect you and reconnect you. Hold on, don't go anywhere. We're gonna talk about racism.
Members only.
I'm having. Oh yeah, we should do a members only show that's just racist.
Fuck, that'd be
Oh, I should do that. I should do a members only show that's just for my racist listeners, and we can just let loose. It's not a bad idea.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about Louisiana.
Dude, when I got to Louisiana, man, I got stationed down there, and the first, like, you do go through in processing. We were doing this in processing. They had a brief, and then they were like, "All right, if you're Caucasian, you can step out of the room now." And all the Caucasian people left, all the white people left.
Yeah.
A bunch of us, black people and brown people, just hung out. They're like, "All right, guys, this is a brief just for you." It's like, if you go out the north gate, that's gonna put you out of Pitkin, Louisiana. Like, that's where the KKK leader lives. Don't drive through there by yourself. Don't stop there. You're gonna die. So just don't go through Pitkin, Louisiana. Also, when you're out about town, make sure you have a friend, preferably a white friend. And
What's
make
the
sure you guys
town
stay
in
alive.
Louisiana?
Pitkin, 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 Louisiana.
Pitkin. Hey, and by the way, if anyone thinks for a second, I believe this story, by the way. If anyone thinks for a second that that it's not 1 billion times more racist in Gaza against Jews, then you're out of your fucking mind. Every fucking Gazan wants to fucking hang a Jew. Because if this is in Pitkin, just imagine how it is in Gaza. Okay, and so how long did you live in Pitkin where you weren't welcome as a Mexican?
Dude, well, I was in Louisiana for 6 years.
Okay, so I typed in Pitkin, Louisiana, KKK, and the first article that pops up is Louisiana woman says 3 racist men set her on fire. Oh, shit. Now, that was in 2012.
Yeah, what was there in 2005?
In 2012, a 20-year-old black woman said she was set on fire by 3 men who wrote the initials KKK and racial slur on her car in northeastern Louisiana. Listen, just tell us what they wrote. I'll decide if it's a racial slur, you fucking idiots. Officers found Sharmika Moffitt with burns on more than half of her body when they responded to a 9/11 call Sunday night. The FBI is investigating the attack as a possible hate crime, but arrests have been made. No arrests have been made as of Monday. The men doused her in flammable liquid and set on fire at a park. Damn, this bitch is lucky she didn't die.
Yeah, they call them sundown towns, man.
Meaning black people got to go inside after sundown?
Yep, can't be out there. Any, like, if you're colored, doesn't matter if you're black or not. Can't be out after sundown.
Wow, she got a little get well balloon next to her and shit. Let me see what what's if you had to pick which one was the most racist town in America? Wow. Reddit got a thread.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like, and then I went to the Walmart. Bro, I parked out the Walmart, and this fucking toothless dude goes, hey boy, is you Mexican boy? I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, man. He's like, we ain't never had none of y'all down here before. What is he doing here, boy? I was like, I'm gonna get in my car. I'm leaving. Fuck that.
Fucking
Dude,
punch.
it
You
was
should have
wild.
punched him in his tooth.
Dude, it was fucking crazy. Yeah, he only had one teeth. But dude, it was wild, man. Like the most racist place I've ever been is Louisiana. I got fucking I went to pull gas, like one of those mom and pop shops that like Caleb was talking about.
Yeah.
I tried to get gas, and there's two fucking bald headed dudes inside and this grandma. I was like, hey, can I just get $20? The only pump you guys have, which is one. I started pumping gas, and these two fucking bald headed dudes came out. One had a bat. I was like,
Oh
fuck, do I stay
shit.
here? Like, do I stay here and pump gas? Like, how much gas do I have left? It's like, fuck this, dude. Yeah, man.
That's the
fuck that,
reason
dude.
I only
These
go
things
to
are-
Buc-ee's and Pilot and
Here,
whatever other nice gas station there is.
Here's a post here's a post from 2017 on the internet somewhere. Growing up, I was told to stay away from Pitkin, Hornbeck, and Simpson, as those were some of the most racist towns. Leesville citizens.
Yeah.
Those are Senla towns. But what about other parts of the state? Do you know any other places where blacks are typically not welcome? What about where whites or browns or other races? Your post is racist. Jesus Christ. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, judging by the brutal guy. Listen, and for any of you, those who feel guilty for being white and feel guilty for the racism there, go ahead and drive through Oakland, down 14th Street.
I did, yeah.
If you want to give the blacks a little opportunity for payback, dude.
Fuck
When
that.
I used to
I
ride,
wouldn't even drive through Oakland.
anytime I used to ride my bike a lot, like 5 days a week in Oakland and Berkeley, and I would ride with a friend. And we would just ride all over into the worst neighborhoods. Anywhere we went, every day we went out, people would yell "cops!" Like they just thought we were cops because we were two dudes out on bikes. Cops, cops,
Yeah.
cops.
But yeah, dude. Yeah, you're gonna get shot in Oakland. Fuck that. I don't even drive through Oakland.
Wow. All right. So we have a very, very tolerant society. If you are racist and you need a place to live, it sounds like Pitkin is the place for you.
Dude, it's fucking wild down there, man.
I'm gonna look up a Pitkin demographic.
That's where they I think in Casper, Texas, maybe that's where they dragged that dude behind the truck. They just dragged him.
I guess Pitkin only has 5,000 people. Is it small?
Yeah, it's a tiny town, dude. You can drive through in like probably like 8 minutes, but you don't stop.
Oh,
It's a very small town.
16,643.
It's a small
94%, 94% white, 1.2% black, 0.6% American Indian, 2.2% Asian. Asians fucking, they creep in everywhere. Hawaiian, 0.1%, 2 or more races, 1.9%, Hispanic or Latino X, 11.7%.
Yeah, dude. It's wild down there.
Persons, listen to this. Oh, it's an old, people over 65, 24%. Oh, and they got a shortage of bitches, dude. Only 48% of the town is women.
Dude, there's
You
fucking
never
like,
want to
Confederate
leave
flags everywhere.
Yeah, what'd you say?
There's Confederate flags everywhere too. Like this dude, there's a bunch of white dudes in big trucks and Confederate flags everywhere. It's great.
Let me see. There's some more crazy shit about it. You never want to live somewhere where there's more men than women. That means there's going to be angry men. Dude's got to be getting medium selected monthly mortgage 1,100. Geez, medium monthly owner. The average mortgage in that town is $1,100. That's crazy. It says to buy a house there's 13,000. That can't be right. Oh shit! I lost you. Hold on. What? Let's look at their Trulia. This will tell you a lot. The race is on between me and Caleb. Trulia, Pitkin Holmes. He's clicking the mouse. He's going to the screen. He clicks it. He shares. Sevi for the win.
Damn, nice.
Are you still there, Ortega?
That's not Pitkin.
Oh shit, Pitkin, Colorado.
Oh,
the race is still on.
fucked it up. You suck. You
Pitkin.
suck.
Oh, you beat me?
Yeah, it's Louisiana, dog.
God, son of a. Okay. Let me see the most expensive house in Pitkin.
150,000.
It's 315,000.
3-bed, 3-bath.
Oh
Damn.
man,
There's some outside of there that are like $500,000 homes. Oh, here's $1 million home, but it's just outside of Pitkin.
it's 12,000 acres.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, click on that one right there. That's 1.7 million. Let me see that. That's got to be so much land.
Let's see.
250
acres.
Yeah, 250 acres.
Charming country cabin retreat.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is ridiculous. If the nicest
Damn.
Yeah, most of the shit that's available in Pitkin doesn't even have a home on it.
Yeah, it's just plots of land for $300,000.
God,
Yeah, man.
Here's a place that's 30 acres with a nice home on it that's $400,000. 30 acres. Hey, what's the weather there like there? Does it snow?
Dude, no, it's hot as fuck.
It's a nice shower.
I wonder what they would say if some Jews
It's
moved
hot.
in.
It's hot and humid.
My kids are half Jews. You think we'd get beat up there, picked on? Just half Jew.
Yeah, probably. But, I mean, your kids can fight though, so they might do all right.
What the fuck is this? There's just a chair in this
All right,
closet.
man, I gotta head back to work.
All right. Where do you work? At a stereo shop in Oxnard? Putting in woofers?
Nah, man, I'm in South Carolina, Columbia, dude. I work for I just got a new job doing fucking content for a blockchain company and a trading card game company.
Oh, congratulations. All right.
That's one.
Hey, is
Thanks,
South
man.
Carolina,
Yeah,
is that
we
where
work-
JR and Taylor live? Or is that North Carolina?
Yeah. So yeah, Taylor lives an hour north of me, and JR lives an hour south.
Oh, all right. That's cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about going to see Taylor, I think next week.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, for Kill Taylor, I was just gonna go hang out while he does it.
Oh yeah, do that. If you do that, let me know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Bye.
All right, later.
$500 next week. God, the more and more I think about the Kill Taylor math.
What about it?
I should probably save this for CrossFit Games update show, but what's the money? What's the money that people are estimating that the athletes are getting paid for 1.2 million this year for the Big W League?
Like, what's their salary or whatever? Isn't it like $100,000 or like $300,000 or something?
Yeah, but their total expenditure for like prize money is like 1.2 million, including payroll for the athletes to compete. I thought I heard.
Oh, yeah. I heard that too.
I'm just like, dude, do you know what you could have done with a fucking $1 million with online
More
companies?
than
Just steal our idea, run with it, or work with us. I mean,
you could do more with $1 million with this concept than you would trying to make it a worldwide fucking tour of events.
like Will, listen. Will, are you listening? Willie, listen. Two things. I never cheat on my wife, and I've never done steroids. Maybe some peptides. But here's the deal. Here's the plan, dude. You start a competitor to Kill Taylor, and you do that for 2 years, and you invest $1 million into it. So that would be basically you give away $10,000 a weekend every Saturday morning. For a year, that's $500,000. And for 2 years, you do that. That only costs you $1 million. In that 2 years, you're hyping up the first Big Will live event. You know what I mean? Like, just imagine, we've done Kill Taylor now for almost a year. We're going to do it for another year. Eventually, there's going to be an in-person comp, right?
Sure. Yeah.
You do that for fucking 2 years, and there's so much fucking hype around it. And then you do a meetup, an in-person meetup somewhere, and that's your first event. Show a little patience. You don't treat it like your wife's pussy will and just fucking come in 10 seconds. You build up. Or you be really smart and you just you tell your lady who has all the money, and you're like, you know what? Introduce you to Sevan Matosian from the Sevan podcast. He will help facilitate all your visions of grandeur. Syndicate Crown has an in-person portion of what? What do you mean? What?
Kill Taylor.
Oh, we'll see. I don't believe anything until I see it. Oh, sorry. You haven't done steroids yet. Yeah.
Soon.
Speaking of Kill Taylor, did you see Colton donated his winnings? Did he really?
To who? Back to Taylor?
Did he really? What was the guy's name? McCoy something? McCoy Turner?
Donated to him?
McCoy Turner donation. Here's the
How do you know that?
McCoy Turner. What was the name? It wasn't GoFundMe. It was like another one. McCoy Turner death donation. I took off the word CrossFit. Let me see. There's no way you're finding this before me.
Probably not.
What's the donation page? Someone's. Oh no, it's not a McCoy. It's not GoFundMe. It's something else. Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna put GoFundMe. Anything to try to beat Caleb. Oh, help the Turner family recover Eaton. No, that's different. Nope, that's the Eaton Fire McCoy Turner. You can see how I type. Someone types like such a boomer. How can you see? I try to hide how I type. I don't want to be made fun of for it. McCoy Turner, Bali death. Was he in Bali?
I don't know about that.
Okay, I'm going to an Instagram page where they might have a link to. God, you do this whole thing and you don't have. Oh, for those who are able to donate, go to bio. Okay, I'm fucking on it. You're fucked. A link tree. They don't even got it. They said they did.
Oh, dude.
You found
Get
it?
fucked.
You found it?
Yep. Jesus Christ. Why did that take so long?
Okay, let me see.
God damn. All right. Scrolling.
Go by highest donations.
I don't know if you can do that like you do with GoFundMe. Tim Ledger.
$604 donations. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's wild.
Colton donated to a dog rescue, I bet.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to scroll through all these fucking things.
Let's see. I don't care. Oh, maybe you could type in. Maybe you can type in. Oh, I'm gonna beat you still. Colton,
James Sprague donated 200 pounds.
Colton Mertens. What's the name of the website?
Just Giving. Edge.justgiving.
Matt O'Keefe gave 1,000 pounds. Did you see that?
Oh, is that the same Matt? Yeah, I did see that. I didn't really think that was him.
Kudos to O'Keefe. Colton Mertens.
Fuck. Oh my Christ almighty.
Colton Mertens got a Reddit thread.
Does he?
I hate it that Reddit populate that the Google search is so into fucking. No, it can't be. He must have done it. He must have done it some other way because it's not going to be on there because we've already passed ones that I've. Maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe not. 4 days ago.
What was 4 days ago? That was Saturday. Dude, damn! If he would have got paid that fast, that's crazy.
I think he got $1,000 really fast.
Oh, okay.
Hollis Malloy. He inspired me to be a better dad.
There it is.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. He gave all of it. He gave all $1,500. Holy shit. Wow.
Kill Taylor sent me. Sorry for your loss. Damn, dude. What's heavy?
Someone threatened to beat me up on Reddit, and someone sent me a link, and I went over there, and the thread had been locked. I guess they don't allow threats of violence. That was kind of cool.
Unless it's you, then it just depends.
Unless it's what?
Said unless it's you, then it just depends.
I don't understand. Say that one more time slowly.
They don't allow threats of violence unless it's you, then it just depends.
Oh, yeah. It's okay to yeah. Sebi, can you look into the story about a New Zealand doctor, Samantha Bailey, who lost her medical license over a video she posted about COVID for $10?
10 New Zealand dollars, dude? That's
Sure.
only like $5.
It's a story. I already like the story. Samantha.
It's literally $5.
Bailey, COVID. Doctor and former TVN presenter Samantha Bailey has medical registration canceled. Crazy. Fucking nuts, dude. New Zealand's fucked. Australia's fucked. The UK's fucked. I have so many stories about how fucked up the UK is.
She's a fat forehead, dude. Holy fuck.
Rest my glass of whiskey on her forehead while I'm drilling her missionary. Former TVNZ presenter and doctor had her medical registration canceled and has been ordered to pay more than $148,000 after posting COVID-19 misinformation to her YouTube channel, which ranked around 18 million views. Wow. It's the outcome of a years-long investigation into her conduct was only publicly released yesterday. Bailey, who was previously one of 4 presenters on the TVNZ healthcare series, The Checkup, posted videos on her channel commenting on the mythology of the vaccine efficacy while touting her medical and science education. So it wasn't misinformation. It was first of all, who cares? And second of all, it was probably real information. In many videos, she promoted a book she co-authored, which looked at how the medical industry continually invented epidemics, making billions of dollars at our expense. Another video claims she was fired from her TV role for not sticking to the narrative about the COVID-19 vaccine. Well, that's clear. That just happened. The medical council went on to receive 15 complaints about Bailey's videos. In 2021, she tried to stall its investigation by requesting a judicial review. Yeah, who cares if you get complaints? If you're not getting complaints, you're not doing your fucking job. However, this was declined by the High Court, and the council eventually charged Bailey with spreading misleading, inappropriate information. Wow. While free speech is protected, no, it's not, under the Bill of Rights Act, medical professionals, as per their code of ethics, have a limitation on this right. Any robust debate they engage in must be well-founded. In 2023, the council's charges were heard by the HPDT, but Bailey did not turn up to the hearing. Oh, that was stupid. Bailey also said she would not pay any cost of order to do so.
Scroll further down in that article, like just a little bit further.
Oh, and she had no wish to go to the where?
Keep going, like the next picture. No, not that one. Keep going. Next one.
Sheena Bailey. Oh, Samantha Bailey had personal attacks against Dr. Oh, of course. She attacked this lady. This is the doctor that was right.
That's right. That's right.
That headed obese thing.
Let me just tell you about how much I know about stuff.
Hey, and listen to the practitioner's conduct had the potential to cause significant impacts by undermining public trust in the experts advising on New Zealand public health. Not that she was wrong. Not that she was wrong, but she made it so that you might not trust current doctors. Well, what if those fucking doctors are wrong? I hope they did distrust the advice given to them by the New Zealand government. Man.
Fucked up, dude.
Fuck that country. And fuck that article. And Jeremy, I bet you I can spend 2 seconds on your Instagram and you got a post that makes you so excited you got the booster. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry that happened to her. It sounds like she doesn't want anything to do with the medical profession anymore.
I wouldn't. Fuck that, dude.
Sevi, you were Google searching ADHD? No. Not even for a second. I don't give a fuck about that stuff. Did it start populating that or something? That's just must be just popular searches or something. This is pretty funny. I'm going to show you 2 videos here. This is a video. I don't know who they think they're fooling. No one in the United States thinks that anyone in Europe has a fucking backbone. Look at this video.
2.5 grand later, and then hey, what's going on?
It's mine, Daddy. No one keeps taking away from me.
No, what?
It says if someone is touching my daughter, then this is what I do. This is like some European backyard barbecue.
Give it back.
No.
Noah, give it back.
No.
I said give it back now. Noah. Larry, what the hell are you doing?
Larry!
Larry, you can't just. Oh,
Larry! Oh, are you all right? How did you...
Larry!
Yeah, she deserves it.
Righto, what's
Just
going on
for
here?
that haircut.
I'm arrested. Oh.
I mean, you could do that to the cops in Great Britain, and they
Yes,
they would just be like, "Oh, how dare you!"
That's the only part that's realistic.
You could smack the cops around in the UK.
Now let me show you the reality of what the fuck happens in the United Kingdom. Because no one in Europe's ever stood up for fucking anything. This is fucking unfucking believable. These are cops trying to hold a dude down in the UK. This is unfucking believable. Look at this cop's not even helping.
That guy, he couldn't help if he tried, dude.
Is that someone holding their glasses in their hand? Oh no, those are handcuffs she's trying to put on him.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, relax.
And now this lady, look at this lady up here, this black lady with this like winter coat on. Watch her. She starts attacking the cops. No, she's helping her husband get up.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Dude, there's other cops there just watching.
That's so embarrassing.
Look at now she's pulling on the cop. Look, there's another cop. Is that a cop, that black chick holding the phone, or is she just dressed like a cop? Oh no, she's just got jewelry on. Hey, dude, I swear to God, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If there's someone that close to cops filming an incident, they should be fucking tased or shot. You should listen. If cops are fighting with someone and you're anywhere fucking near them and you're not helping or fighting with them, you should be tased or shot. Like, you can't stand that close to that fucking incident. Oh, the fuck that wouldn't happen in Scotland, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't even pray in your fucking faggoty country in your house. Fuck you, Jan. Fuck Europe. You guys are a fucking disgrace to humanity. This shit pisses me off so much. You can go over and touch a fucking cop while he's fighting with someone and not get shot?
That's nuts.
Sevon, you live in California. That's a good point. Don't ruin it. Let me finish beating up Jan and then we can fucking gangbang me. Look at, she's got that cop's hand. If you grab a fucking cop's hand while his fucking life's in jeopardy while he's trying to arrest someone, you should fucking get one in the pumpkin.
Oh my God. This is so bad.
Now the cop's getting thrown under the bus. Look at that chick is beating, that fat black lady with the fucking winter coat is beating up the Bobby now. That guy's such a pussy. Maybe he deserves it. Oh no, that's a lady. Oh my God. He just kicked a cop in the chest. A female cop. Now listen, finally a man shows up. I don't know where they found him. This must be an American right here. This must be an American. Watch this cop. Sit down, bitch. Oh my God.
No way.
There's got to be an explanation that I still won't accept. Free Chauvin, yeah, they actually asked in the White House press conference. Someone said, "Hey, now that Trump's in office and it's so obvious the corruption that went behind the Chauvin case, is Trump going to free him?" And she said, "At this time, I've already answered this question. At this time, he's not considering it."
All right, I gotta go.
Okay, bye. Have fun.
Later.
Good luck with your prep for graduation.
Thanks.
We'll be streaming that live. Caleb's graduation from the Royal Air Force or whatever he's doing. Holy shit, 3 hours. Do you have any tennis videos of Avi or jiu-jitsu this week? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Of course I do. I'm about to give some parenting advice. Anyone who has kids, I'm going to help you with some advice here in a minute.
Hello, you've reached Haley. Leave a message.
Son of a. So, take my kids swimming yesterday. After swimming, they have a shower at the swim club. They like to go in there, shower, get in the hot water, and so they're in there, and they have a half-hour window after their swimming class is done before I have to just take them just up the street to their jiu-jitsu academy. And so they're in there. I let them shower and then refuel up and eat. So they're in there showering, and there's a bunch of other little kids who are in the shower. It's like one of those just big, it's like a college shower room. It's just a big room with, what is it? Some kind of tile, like that hard tile, and the whole, it's just like a shower. You guys know what it looks like. And there's spigots coming out from all over the walls, and you push the button, and it's a joke. It truly is a joke. I should go complain at the front desk, because you push the spigot and it gives you hot water for like 3 seconds, then you have to push it again. It's a miserable experience. My mic is fucked. Is it better? How about now? That sounds fine to me. Can you hear me? Am I good? You good? No, not that. Hello? 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 It's not better? Is the show over? You're fine. Thank you, Jeffrey. Okay. So my kids go in there, they shower, they come out. I have these parkas for them. I put the parkas on them. I zip them up. And while this is all happening, this whole process takes like 10 minutes. And there's this lady there, nice lady, and she's got 3 boys in the shower too. And she goes to the door of the bathroom and yells 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, probably 5 times at them. Hey, you boys need to come out. You boys need to come out. And every time she's telling them that, and every time she has a different threat, it's like, hey, if you don't come out, I'm not going to take you here. If you don't come out, I'm not going to let you go in the shower again. If you don't come out, and it's 5 fucking times. And there's this word that I can't stand, sacrifice. I can't stand it when people say, I sacrifice so much to go to the CrossFit Games. I sacrifice so much to raise my kids. What does sacrifice mean? Let me look up the definition of sacrifice. Sacrifice. Sacrifice means an act of slaughtering an animal. Nope, not that one. Or a person. Nope, not that. Or surrendering a possession as an offering to God. No, offers to kill. Sacrifice. Real meaning of what is the real meaning? What is a sacrifice in life? Giving up something you enjoy or something bigger that would do you good is what is meant by sacrifice. Giving up something you enjoy. Listen, there is nothing. I mean nothing. The only thing that I would want to do more than spend time with my kids might be making more kids with my wife. Maybe. How? Oh. Um, I think my wife needs the video now. Oh, I airdropped it to her? Shit. No, I meant to text it to her. Shit. Okay, there's that. I gotta send a video of Avi playing tennis to my wife. Stand by. Oh, that's the tennis tournament. Stand by. Sorry. I really apologize for this. I know I just took Avi to a where is this tennis class? Shit. I might have to go. You guys might not get the parenting advice. Oh, I filmed it with a GoPro. Shit. Okay, so she over 5 times she's going in there and threatening her kids, and I'm thinking to myself, no wonder people don't want to take their kids everywhere. No wonder people think that it's a sacrifice. You didn't make the kids the way you wanted them, and so you're not enjoying them. If I ever asked my kids to come out of the shower and they wouldn't come out of the shower, I wouldn't say anything. I would just wait outside. I would just take a couple deep breaths, wait outside. And when they came out, I would be like, you are not going to go in that shower again for a long time, because when I asked you to come out, you didn't come out. And that would be it. That would be it. The consequence, by the way, always, you don't say, hey, you can't watch TV tonight, or I don't know, some other shit. Like, I'm not going to feed you for a week. You want the consequence to be intimately attached with what they fucked up. You get what I'm saying? So you just can't go in the shower again. It's not like it has these repercussions over your whole life. You know what I mean? Like, if you give your kid, like, I got my kid a baton, and if he were to hit the other kid with it, I would just take the baton and throw it in the trash. And be like, there you go. Now you know. We're all good. I'm not even mad at you. You just fucked up. You lost your baton. Every Jesus sacrifice. Thank you. Yeah, Jesus sacrifice. Sure. Okay, fine. Just nip shit in the bud. In the butt. Just end that shit. That way you can take your kids everywhere. They know exactly what all the rules are. They know exactly what all the fucking rules are. And then you can trust your kids and your kids can trust you. It's just like, yesterday, Avi was supposed to start his tennis academy. He'd done a private tennis lesson. And then after his private tennis lesson, if his ankle was okay after being off of it for 6 months, he was supposed to go to his tennis academy the next day. And I'm getting him ready to go to his tennis academy. And he goes, hey, I still don't feel like going. I'm like, okay, when are you going to go? And he goes, Friday. That's tomorrow. And I said, okay, no problem. Suit up. We'll go to jiu-jitsu instead. He said, thank you. I don't have to do any. There's trust both ways. Everyone knows. I trust him. He trusts me. We just flow. There's never to be a power struggle. The second they fuck up, done. Immediate consequence. Immediate feedback. Redirected. There's nothing I'd rather do than go do something with my kids. Nothing. That's never a fucking sacrifice. The more shit that I don't have to worry about my own life and just get to love on them, the better. I would turn the water temp up to scold them. Yeah, that's good feedback too. That's solid. There you go. It's a little different. But fair. You know. Oh, tomorrow's podcast is going to be insane. Chris Cooper's coming on from Two Brain. He wrote he wrote some pretty wild, experienced, knowledgeable stuff. Look at this. CrossFit made this post. Remember, CrossFit made a post on, like, after a lot of pressure, Don admitted that CrossFit's for sale. And then look at this and they posted it on their website. I didn't even know they knew how to do that anymore. Comments on CrossFit's next chapter and update to our community. And look at all this stuff Chris Cooper wrote. How to save CrossFit, the path forward for affiliates in HQ. The problem, CrossFit is shrinking. I like Chris Cooper's mindset. I just want to tell you this. And this is just the hard truth. This isn't my opinion. These are just the fucking facts. Okay? And I understand Chris wants to grow CrossFit. I understand that. That's his mindset. His mindset is to grow CrossFit. He's a business-oriented guy, right? And so I like that. So that his opinion has a lot of value when it comes to business and growing your personal affiliate and making more money and being able to help more people. But I want to show you this little video clip here from a Tia Claire Toomey video. Okay, here we go.
The main event. I think it's funny if people try to compare High Rocks to CrossFit or
I think it's funny that people try to compare High Rocks to CrossFit or CrossFit to High Rocks. I think this guy was on the show, Kelly James or James Kelly, something like that. And I think he might like be like the new guy at High Rocks. Like he's like the guy Hunter has to chase down now or something.
CrossFit to High Rocks. Because you can't.
He's saying you can't compare them.
It's like chalk and cheese.
He says it's like comparing chalk and cheese, and I understand. I barely understand James's perspective too, right? Because he's just a competitor, right? He's a competitor, and he's a guy who's trying to sell training and make a living doing a CrossFit workout that's called High Rocks, right?
You can't compare it.
You can understand his perspective. It's like Kelly's perspective is this fucking small. Doesn't mean it's not valid, but it's this small. His opinion to the larger success of the community as a whole means nothing. But his opinion is extremely valuable if you want to be tip of the spear. So his opinion is extremely valuable. 0.0000000000000000000000000000000000000% of the people, but it's still valid for that 1%. But for big picture, zero validity. Dumb as fuck. Here we go.
They're totally different sports.
They're totally different sports.
Specifically,
go on. Yeah, go on. Here comes Kamala word salad. Here we go.
The people that compare don't necessarily know what's going on behind the scenes with both sports.
Now he's admitting what his problem. The people who compare don't know what's going behind the scenes with
As well,
both sports as well.
in my opinion.
In his opinion, okay. So you have to know, none of that is relevant to me. I know like 5 billion times more than him, including seeing the financials and everything of everything. Okay, here we go. High Rocks, I'm just telling you the facts. High Rocks is a CrossFit workout. CrossFit is a dogmatic lifestyle program that requires an unwavering leader. High Rocks doesn't care about anything except warm bodies paying for entrance fees. CrossFit can only exist if the leader stays true to tip of the spear health and human capacity via nutrition and movement. And it's okay that High Rocks is the marketing and sale of a single CrossFit workout. I have no fucking issue with that. None at all. But whoever leads CrossFit should not be worried about the fucking growth at all. Whoever leads CrossFit should be focused on maintaining the truth behind a lifestyle that will allow your DNA to express itself in the greatest way possible. Work capacity capacity across broad time and modal domains, and then with the third axis that Greg drew out in 2010 or 11, and then longevity in your life. Oh, and you're a fucking retard. God, it just shows how much you don't even understand. David Weaver, High Rocks is now bigger than CrossFit. It's not. It's like saying that the mushroom on my lawn is larger than my lawn. Fine, but it's still fucking living out of my lawn. Hi. What's up?
I just did school.
Oh.
What's the meeting, Amanda?
Oh yeah, I'm getting off the show. I've been on 3 hours and 20 minutes.
That's not a long time. Hey, I want to skate on the ramp.
Oh, should we do that now?
Yeah.
Get off. Joey's saying get off.
Why?
I don't know why. Because you want to see me. Because you love me. Who's the coolest dude in the world to hang out with?
Dave.
Who's the second coolest dude in the world to hang out with?
Matt Souza.
Come hug me. Come give me a kiss. Ladies
Are
and
we still
gentlemen-
live?
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Joseph.
Matosian.
Yeah, Joseph Strong Matosian.
And never mind. He's laying on the floor.
Oh man,
How come Joey's scared?
he's not scared.
He just doesn't want to be seen. The camera's not even on, Joseph.
Yeah, the camera's not on. They can hear you, but your camera's not on.
Yeah. Just pretend nobody's watching you.
Is anyone signing up for the World Fitness Project?
Yeah,
They are?
I am.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, I'm
I wonder if
joking.
they have a kids division.
What do you mean? Like,
It's this new competition. It's this new organization that's doing CrossFit competitions, World Fitness competition. I know you're not playing with that cord with your feet.
no, I'm trying to
Oh.
untangle my.
What's up, Joe? Dude, you're starting your gymnastics program on Tuesday. You pumped?
No. Come on, speak.
Don't bang
Die.
the don't whatever you do, don't do that. Don't bang it or hit it.
Say hello. Why? There's only 2 people watching. Yeah, that's hiding.
There's only 20% of the allotted registration for the event so far. Oh, meaning that they have a limited number of people that they'll take, and they've only filled up 20% of the spots.
I have a question.
Yeah, go
Why
ahead.
do we wear these headphones?
So that I don't know. So you can hear me clearly. So you can, and basically that way I can hear anything that's going on in the show. If there's any sort of clicking or fans or any weird noises, I can just make sure the audio is pristine. You don't have to wear them if you don't want to.
No, it's just, yeah. It's fun when you wear them. It just doesn't. The headphones are like right near your ears, and when you talk, audio is going straight in your.
Yeah. Jethro Cardona, CrossFit Chief Nation. What did you say? Is what bad for you? Yeah, you shouldn't wear headphones all the time.
Speak into the mic.
Sevon is very lucky. He's able to hug his kids when he wants. I miss my 2 older kids right now, and they're moved out and gone. I talked to both of them today, but I wish I could hug them right now. I know, isn't it great? Hey, when I get off the show, I go into my house and I drop to one knee and I call each of them to me if they don't run to me and hug them.
I'm gonna go to college and sign up for the army. I'm joking.
I support you in all your decisions. All right. Love you guys.
Is it raining today? Is it gonna rain?
I don't know.
Hey, my butt still hurts.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no,
mean, not like. I mean, like if I roll on it.
Did you see
No,
him?
I
Did you?
have a mic right here.
Hey, Joseph, did you see him fall down yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. You describe to me what happened, and then I want to hear Avi's version. Don't interrupt him. Tell me what
Okay.
happened.
I think he either slipped on the ball or slipped on the concrete.
Okay, I want to tell you what I saw. We got home from somewhere, I don't know where, swimming.
You're just gonna call us retarded.
No, I won't call you retarded. I promise. I'll try not to. And you guys jumped out of the car while I was unloading all your shit, being your little slave.
That's
getting
a
your,
good dad.
Getting your wet
I want to
bathing
call
suit,
you a good dad. if
picking
you
up
did
all
that.
your wrappers from inside the car, all that stuff, being your little maid. And before I'm carrying all this shit into the house to wash it and get ready for the next thing. And I look behind me and you guys are playing soccer on the driveway. And I said 2 things to you. Do you want me to pump the ball up? And I thought you guys should play on the grass.
Yeah, but the grass was really long
Okay, it's fine. So you tell me what happened.
and wet. So I was running and I was trying to.
And I'm now inside the house, by the way, just doing the wash and shit and doing dad shit. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was trying to kick the ball and to the fence. We pretended that was the goal and net.
Yeah.
And then I my foot went like high above the ball, and it rolled right on the ball, and I leveled out. I was like 2 feet off the ground, leveled out.
Like you caught air. You went to kick the
Yeah.
ball and your foot hit the top of it, and you
Yeah,
were
and it was
barefoot.
like, whoop, and I leveled out, and I hit like right on my butt.
I heard you scream probably almost the loudest I've ever. I thought for sure you broke something.
It hurt so bad.
I can scream way.
I thought I broke my butt.
I thought you broke your butt too. I know you
I
can
thought
scream
I
louder
broke
than
my.
that.
I thought I broke my tailbone.
He was howling. He was yodeling. He was hurt so
I
bad.
think Miss Mighty could hear me.
3 miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah, he Charlie Browned it. Exactly. It's crazy.
Have you watched the Charlie Brown one where the Family Guy, Peter Griffin, comes in and kicks the girl in the face?
Yeah, he beats her ass.
Yeah. That's a good one.
What is it? Family Guy, Charlie
Brown screaming.
Brown.
Screaming. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, he.
Wait, no, what? Let's play it.
I am. Give it a second, dude. Give it a second. Yeah, there's shit I gotta do. I gotta make it so everyone at home can see it too. That's what happened to you.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the last time you are going to pull that crap. You hear me?
Yes.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Now you are
Roadhouse.
going to hold down that football until Charlie Brown kicks it. You got that?
Yes.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Yay!
And you know what else? I did some checking around. You're not a licensed therapist. Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
He's so cool. Whoever plays that voice is so awesome.
Roadhouse.
I've seen all of them where
Do I let you watch that show anymore?
no,
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, no more Family Guy for you. That was a mistake.
Mom said we could watch it through our TV.
Yeah, when you're 16, you can watch that shit.
What about 13?
No. That
Mom
that
said-
shit's crazy.
It's funny.
He's so
No,
funny.
you guys learn do giggity.
Okay. All right.
Okay, now do a Stewie.
What the deuce?
Yeah. That you know those voices way too well. Can you do any voices?
But I'm losing it.
That's good. Yeah, look at David Weed likes it. That in itself is a reason not to watch it.
Can't we just skip the nudity part and all that crap?
No, you can't. There's all sorts of that guy Quagmire's a pervert. He's my favorite guy.
I know. That's why I like him.
He's so cool.
I'm gonna be like him when I'm older.
Let me see one
could.
more. If you guys know this, I'm in big trouble. Let me see. This
What's that other one? With that
I
other
am
guy?
not playing that. Nice try, Barry McGagner. What? Barry the Weatherman.
I never seen the Weatherman.
Yeah, the pervert is
Hey.
pervert is the best character though.
Hey, Heidi.
Quagmire's amazing.
Heidi, but they don't show him a lot. I mean, maybe
Quagmire?
maybe they usually go get the beer at the Drunken Clam.
Yeah, even that's it. JFK files, key takeaways, what we've learned.
That's what Homer Simpson.
5 things to know about the assassination records.
He goes to
I don't
Moe's.
trust any of these sources. MAGA nuts want Trump on Mount Rushmore. JFK files gets disorganized release.
Heidi, what's that other show with that guy and he has the big chin? The same characters like Family Guy. What's that other one? You know? The with the big chin, he has hair.
The guy in the wheelchair?
No, he looks like him a lot, but it's a different movie.
And The Simpsons?
No, it's in a movie. It's a different like TV show. It's like I think it's just like as bad as this.
Day tonight.
I don't see anything good about the JFK files. I just don't want to pull up New York Times or Rolling Stone. Or
Heidi,
any of
I'm
these
gonna go
idiots.
skate.
Okay, I'm gonna go too. All right. I know, but
I don't want you.
yeah, you're shit out of luck. Show's
Well,
over.
Oh, it is.
Hey, do I have to? I probably is the ramp dry?
Yeah, I'll sweep it off. No, it's not dry.
I want to sweep it off. I want to go out there. I love watching you skate.
I said I can't do a tail saw, and then I did a disaster.
I know you're getting so good
But
again.
I need to get my front side 50-50.
Kanye news.
Is Conway black or
Tina Knoll speaks out
Orange.
after Kanye's disturbing attacks on Beyonce and Jay-Z. Oh, is he railing? Sleeping Kanye West photographed with daughter. Kim Kardashian cut short daughter's visit with Kanye West.
Do Conway and Rihanna sing together?
Yeah. After learning Andrew Tate's brother Tristan would be there. Dude, if you can trust your kids with oh shit, Kanye wrote Kim Kardashian's a sex trafficker. I don't like that Twigs has my daughter in her video dressing all grown. I would have expected more from Twigs. It's all on you fucking it's all on you niggas. My soul is black.
That's annoying.
All right. I'll see you guys later. Probably something today. Talk to you guys later.